Go.
Good morning everyone and welcome to the first online regional schools press conference. Maayong buntag sa mga campus journalists ug school paper advisors coming from different divisions. Hello!
Assalamualaikum to all our Muslim brothers and sisters who are here with us, and of course na di aton mga SPAs and CJs takina syudad. Buenos dias con ustedes. Maayong buntag sa tanan. Good morning everyone.
At sa lahat ng gumising ng maaga para sabayan kami sa pambungad na palatuntunan ito, magandang umaga muli sa inyong lahat. I know that you are all excited to witness the formal opening of Rspc 2021. Ngayon pa lang, we are extending our congratulations and good luck sa lahat ng mga campus journalists ng Zamboanga Peninsula.
That's right, Sir Chris. This is our first time to organize the virtual press conference, and this will surely be filled with excitement and one-of-a-kind experience to our writers. While waiting, we would like to welcome the 1,000 viewers coming from the different provinces and cities here in Region 9. Hello po sa inyo! And allow me to read some of the comments on our Facebook Live. Live po tayo ngayon, Sir Chris, sa
Live
ating
na live.
Facebook
Tama.
page.
Tama ka dyan, Gay. At please like our page and share our live by using this hashtag. Hashtag RSPC9 is back. Okay, so may na-receive akong mga text dito, Gay.
Yes.
Saying,
Basahin nga natin yan, Sir Chris.
pa-shout out sa the wordsmiths, writers from Pasunangka Elementary School. Thank you to Mr. Emmanuel Flores, the school principal, coaches, and writers, and participants. So hello po sa mga Zamboanga City Division campus journalists and school paper advisors. Hello.
Hello din, Sir Chris, sa 8 divisions na meron tayo dito sa Region 9. Starting off sa Dapitan City, Dapitan Division. Hello po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers at participants coming from Dapitan City. Next is...
O kumusta man? Kumusta ang mga participants coming from Dipolog City? Good luck and God bless para sa mga campus journalists and school paper advisors.
Hello
Coming from
din
Dipolog
sa lahat
City.
ng ating mga viewers, Sir Chris, sa Isabela City. Hi! Are you ready? Are you set? Continue to share po ang ating live. Sir Chris, sino ang next po?
Feeling ko ready na din ang Pagadian City. You know what, Gay? Na-miss
Yes.
ko yung mga times na pumupunta kami sa Pagadian with our campus journalists and witnessing this grand opening of the
indeed.
Regional Schools Press Conference. So na-miss namin yung yell at yung paggamit ng mga division uniforms.
Indeed, Sir Chris, medyo matagal-tagal din yung duration na walang RSPC. Mga 2 years ata, Sir Chris, if I'm not mistaken. And now, it's finally back.
Tama.
Andito na talaga, tuloy na talaga ang ating RSPC. Hello din sa ating mga viewers, Sir Chris, sa Zamboanga City.
Tama.
Actually, alit tayo ngayon live sa ating LRMDS. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Hi din sa ating mga viewers sa Zamboanga del Norte. Hello sa inyong tanan.
And kumusta yung mga campus journalists and school paper advisors coming from Zamboanga del Sur Division? Kumusta po kayo? And good luck para sa competition mamaya.
Hi po sa ating mga viewers sa Zamboanga Simugay. Hello. Continue to share your shout-outs and share our live on our Facebook page.
Maraming salamat. Alright, so itutuloy po namin ang pagbasa ng inyong mga greetings and shout-out mamaya after this infomercial. For the meantime, please stay tuned dahil mag-uumpisa na po ang ating programa. See you everyone!
The zeal for progress in reading is depth at Zamboanga Peninsula Region's response to Hamon, Bawat Bata Bumabasa. This program is anchored on the campaign of the state which recognizes and supports endeavors that promote reading and literacy and acknowledges the importance of promoting reading as a shared activity among the youth, families, educators, and the private sectors. Moreover, it has been said time and again that for education to have meaning, it should possess quality. Indeed, quality education is achieved through the educator's countless efforts, sacrifices, thrusts, resourcefulness, and determination. In support of Hamon, Bawat Bata Bumabasa or 3Bs, the Department of Education Regional Office 9 is launching a program dubbed as Zeal for Progress in Reading, which signifies that DepEd for Zamboanga Peninsula region puts premium on reading instruction to promote quality education. For the program implementation, this follows the 3 phases. First is a preparatory phase, which includes launching, orientation, and pre-recognition. The second is the implementation phase, which includes professional development programs, research and policy development, and teaching and learning materials. And the final phase, monitoring and evaluation, which includes data gathering, monitoring and evaluation, analysis, interpretation and evaluation, awards and recognition, and strategic directions. For the implementation arrangements, the Curriculum and Learning Management Division shall take the lead in the implementation of the program. Moreover, the CLMD shall coordinate with the Regional Office Functional Divisions and Schools Division Office key personnel for effective execution of the program. The National Educators Academy of the Philippines Region 9 shall align the professional development programs for teachers with this reading program. NAIAP RO9 shall also set a 3-year professional development agenda for school heads and instructional leaders in the implementation of the Zeal for Progress in Reading program. The Policy Planning and Research Division shall encourage RO and field personnel to conduct researches in line with the implementation of this program. Likewise, the PPRD shall assist the CLMD in developing policies along with the areas specified in this program proposal. The Quality Assurance Division shall lead in the development of monitoring tools to ensure the effective implementation of the reading program. Likewise, the QUAAD shall assist CLMD in developing a reading assessment tool which may be administered in the absence of face-to-face classroom instruction. The Education Support Services Division shall continue to forge partnerships with stakeholders to help the field personnel in implementing their program. The Field Technical Assistance Division shall provide needs analysis on the kinds of professional development on teaching reading that the teachers need. Also, it shall coordinate with the teacher education institutions for the inclusion of reading literacy instruction in the BS Ed and BE Ed curricula to bridge the gap between pre-service teacher training and in-service teacher training. The Human Resource Division shall conduct needs assessment of teachers on teaching literacy instruction and assist the CLMD in designing capacity building activities for program while also ensuring that the PPST domains are addressed. The Schools Division offices shall, first, assign a focal person for Zeal for Progress in Reading in Region 9. Second, align reading interventions with Zeal for Progress in Reading data, researchers, and policy. Third, design intervention programs to achieve the objective of each key stage based on assessment and other empirical data. Fourth, identify writers and curators for the development of learning resource packages. Fifth, assess reading level of learners through the developed reading assessment tool. Sixth, ensure the inclusion of the provisions of reading for Region 9 program in the LAC sessions in the schools and districts. Seventh, monitor and evaluate the implementation of reading in districts and or schools. And eighth, provide technical assistance to schools in reading instruction and program implementation. Here is the roadmap of the Zeal for Progress in Reading. It has activities for Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and Year 4. All functional divisions in the region will have to help in the full swing implementation of the 4-year development reading program. Indeed, the Zeal for Progress in Reading is a program that believes that it takes a village to raise a child. This is the Zeal for Progress in Reading, Region 9's response to Hamon, Bawat Bata Bumabasa.
Championing freedom of expression,
Upholding transparency and truth.
empowering resilient communities.
The Department of Education Region 9 continues to dig its foundation in providing learning experiences in enhancing the writing skills of young journalists through responsible campus journalism.
Anchored to Republic Act number 7079, referred to as Campus Journalism Act of 1991, declaring the state to uphold and protect the freedom of the press at the growth of campus journalism as a means of strengthening ethical values, encouraging critical and creative thinking, and developing moral character and personal discipline of the Filipino youth.
Over the past few years, Zamboanga Peninsula left a mark by producing winners in the National Schools Press Conference, the highest competition for campus journalism for both private and public elementary and secondary schools in the Philippines. And this year, as we embark on this journalistic endeavor, let us be proud and continue this legacy by waving the banner of Region 9 in the national arena.
Renewed ourselves in campus journalism, let us empower one another as one region, because together we always become stronger. Here's the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference video teaser.
The long wait is over. The most anticipated Olympics of campus journalism is about to unfold in Region 9. After 2 years of hiatus, the confab for all campus journalists is now back. This 2022, the Regional Schools Press Conference goes online with more twist as it puts together lectures and competitions. Anchoring on the theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. This local Olympics of journalism brings every journalist, experienced or newbie, into a whole new level of excitement. Watch out for these classic categories: news writing, sports writing, feature writing, editorial and column writing, editorial cartooning, photojournalism, radio script writing and broadcasting, TV script writing and broadcasting, plus new exciting contest events, mobile journalism, online publication, documentary film, research and campus journalism, infomercial, and campus journalism vlog. Streaming live, in-depth and RO9 Facebook pages on March 23 to 25, 2022.
The Regional Schools Press Conference will not be realized without the full support of the division superintendents in upholding the journalistic competence among young journalists. Now, let us listen to the solidarity messages of the school's division superintendents.
Journalism plays a significant role in molding the mind of the citizens of the Philippines. So journalists are playing crucial role. And nowadays, we are bombarded with fake news. And I think one of the main tasks of the journalist is to communicate the truth. Through that, we are helping our country, we are helping the citizens of the country see the truth as it is. And hopefully, in the future, you will be enlightening people's lives, especially the Filipinos. With that, I wish each and everyone good luck and God bless.
The Dipolog City Schools Division, headed by Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Danny B. Cordova, with Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Luma I. Pukulan, the Curriculum Implementation Division Chief Dr. Amelinda D. Montero, Education Program Supervisor for English, Riela Angela C. Husol. Education Program Supervisor for Filipino, Cherry May B. Elpanal, with the significant contribution of former Education Program Supervisor for English, Madam Elma C. Kimpo, and the active involvement of the officers of the Dipolog City Division School Paper Advisors Association, led by the President, Cheryl Q. Rebotazo. Proudly presents 186 young and brilliant campus journalists and 56 school paper advisors for both English and Filipino as delegates of the Dipolog City Schools Division to the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference.
The spread of COVID-19 and other infectious diseases have partially hampered the conduct of the usual face-to-face engagements that facilitate the lifelong learning of students in this changing society. Physical office and school replace digital platforms to facilitate seamless communication for us to meaningfully connect the people around us. The importance of honing the communication skills of students should be given the utmost priority. The Dipolog City Schools Division remains duty-bound to support this journalism endeavor, and may your growing passion for campus journalism continue to ignite your support for press freedom and bring you to greater heights of achievements for our nation.
Dear Isabella, land of the free, God's blessings shine on thee. With all the good and brotherhood, a great new city you'll be. Dear Isabella, cradle of love, the only one we have. We'll work and toil the sea and soil and make you great as can be. So endless peace shall reign on every tribe. We live as one and dream as one, contented family. And endless peace shall light the city bright.
When we first learned about the COVID-19, it was through the media. Every number and story worth telling because it meant lives. Journalism became our binoculars observing what was happening around us while we made sure we were safe at the height of the pandemic. We acknowledge
the pivotal role of journalism in our lives. Just like journalism, we should at all times be loyal to the truth and nothing but the truth. Campus journalists are among the cream of the crop. You are rare. Please use your voices to effect the kind of change you want happen. Change that springs the pillars of truth. Use every blot of your ink to help your school, your community, and your nation. That is the true might of your pen.
Communicating is about connecting. That allows us access to information for our better understanding of the world around us. This is an essential component of the development that we anticipate to see in our student journalists as this prepares them to future roles in society as effective leaders and as creators of opportunities. Congratulations to the 2022 Regional Schools Press Conference Management Team for the beautiful experience provided to our learners and for the challenges that it made for them to be curious and passionate critical thinkers. Kudos to all our student journalists and God bless.
Today, we will be launching, the regional office will be launching the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference. And with this 2021 Rspc, this will really highlight the year 2021 to participate in the Schools Press Conference. And this would highlight their talents, wherein they can share their communication skills, and they can hone their campus journalism skills, and most importantly, they can showcase it to their fellow learners throughout the Region 9 Zamboanga Peninsula. Basta sa ating mga learners, dugtong-dugtong, tulong-tulong, sama-sama nating isulong edu kalidad.
Hear the trees DepEd Zamboanga del Norte Schools Division strongly supports the conduct of 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference, which is the avenue for our young journalists to apply their skills, knowledge, and attitudes in campus journalism. I commend the gallant stand of our coaches, our school heads, for their commitment and dedication in promoting campus journalism even rid of the virus. Congratulations to the young journalists and coaches who qualified in this Regional Schools Press Conference. Much more, my salute to the organizers and our judges in this Schools Press Conference for a job well done. Again, congratulations and God bless.
It is of great honor and privilege for all of us to be here in celebration of the remarkable talents and skills of our learners and students. A perfect avenue that serves as training ground to showcase the journalist competencies of all our campus journalists in friendly competitions. I would like to convey my profound wishes to all of our participants in this challenging first online Rspc 2022. The collaboration of our internal and external stakeholders and other sponsors in making this event a success. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, lumalaban po tayo. God bless and mabuhay!
Despite health crisis and other challenges we face, Zamboanga Sibugay Division is indeed very happy and thankful for the noteworthy endeavor of the regional office through the CLMD. It's more than a year that RSPC and DSPC activities are a halt for a while, where learners have not exercised their craft as young journalists. In Zamboanga Sibugay Division, we stretch as far as our support to journalism activity, to give our commitment and efforts to help our learners, our student journalists, improve and enhance their journalistic skills. Thank you and good morning. Check to campus journalism.
To formally begin this prestigious event, let us all be at ease for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by a prayer and the singing of the original hymn.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, kailas ng sigananan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bangaw, ay hinatang tulang awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, makituwin at araw niya kailan ang ay di magdidinig. Luman ang araw ng walhaging pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pagkay mga amin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Our Heavenly Father, we praise and worship you today. You are exalted in our midst. We humbly come before you to ask for forgiveness for every sin and shortcoming we have done. Grant us your mercy and grace as we begin our activity today. Bless the DepEd family, the teachers, officials, staff, and those who work for the Filipino learners to be steadfast and strong in working for the greater good. Shower us with knowledge and wisdom, so that the goals and objectives of the event will be achieved. We thank you for all the blessings we have received each day. We also thank you for the warm support of our partners who are joining with us today. Allow us to continue to make a difference to the people, to the learners, to our country, and to God. May your infinite power unravel possibilities and opportunities for all of us, because in you all things are possible. This we ask, in your name we pray. Amen.
You know what, Gay? Aside from being part of this wonderful experience with our young journalists, I am very much excited to see how we are going to conquer the virtual world in this new format. Alam kong kinakabahan na ngayon yung mga school paper advisors natin, lalong-lalo na sa kapwa kong SPA sa elementarya. Though challenging man, but I know that we can surely make it. Sabi nga nila, tiwala lang.
Sir Chris, tiwala lang na may halong dasal. Ang daming bagong nangyayari sa ating paligid. But one thing we need to learn is to learn how to cope with these changes. And speaking of changes, we have also new categories for this year's press conference. These are documentary film, campus journalism blog, mobile journalism, and research on campus journalism.
And for now, tignan natin yung mga campus journalists and SPAs coming from 8 divisions. Send your heart reacts, and if you are watching, campus journalists and school paper advisors coming from the Pitan City, hello!
Hi everyone! Hi din sa ating mga viewers from Dipolog City!
Kumusta naman yung mga campus journalists and school paper advisors coming from Isabela City Division?
Siyempre, Sir Chris, kamustahin din natin ang ating mga viewers from Pagadian City. Hello! Hello, participants!
And buenos dias as well to all the campus journalists and school paper advisors coming from Zamboanga City Division. Hola!
Kamusta po sa atong mga viewers from Zamboanga del Norte? Hello!
Ug maayong buntag Zamboanga Sibugay Division.
Hello po sa atong mga viewers and campus journalists from Zamboanga, Sibugay. I hope
Yes.
you're enjoying our program, and please continue to share our live, and please like our page. That's Regional Press Conference DepEd Region 9. Like, share, and use our hashtag. That's hashtag RSPC9 is back. We would like to say hi to our regional director, our assistant regional director, our chiefs, our supervisors of our region. Good morning, ma'am and sir. And also we would like to say hi, Sir Chris, to the technical committee of RSPC. Thank you for your patience and effort. Salute to all of you.
And of course, Gay, we would like to say hello to the campus journalists and school paper advisors coming from Zamboanga del Sur Division. Kumusta po?
Hello sa inyo ang tanan. You know what, Sir Chris? My heart is really jumping with excitement right now. My dear SPAs and CJs, let us revive the firing spirit of campus journalism in Region 9.
That is right, Gay. Renewed, rebuilt, revive. As we slowly take our snapback brought by the COVID-19 pandemic, we renew our commitment, rebuild our passion, and revive our aspiration as campus journalists and school paper advisors. Yes, we encounter difficulties in dealing with the global health crisis, but these challenges brought us to new discoveries and learning, specifically in the virtual world. I am Chris Kinko.
That is right, Sir Chris. In a time of social distancing, the importance of staying connected through stories, media, and news is so vital. Bridging the gap between virtual and normal life, we can't deny the fact that stories are the basis of life. And it is through journalism that these stories get communicated. I am Miss Mary Gay Resurrection.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first virtual regional schools press conference is a manifestation that we are embracing the online community where the new platform was maximized for our campus journalists to deliver their voices and stories.
This is really exciting and challenging at the same time. But one thing is for sure, this event will surely provide another worthwhile experience and learning to our young writers.
Carrying this year's theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. Live via Facebook of the Department of Education Region 9, this is the Regional Schools Press Conference 2021.
To begin this session is to hear important words of inspiration. Here is the officer in charge of the Office of the Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Pedro Melchor M. Natividad, for his words of welcome. Sir?
Why? What is background? Background. Can I be heard now? Yes, a much better morning to each and everyone. Sambuanga Peninsula family, DepEd Region 9. Indeed, it is my honor and privilege to do the welcome or to give the welcome message on behalf of the Regional Office 9. Indeed, it is glory to God, no? Because this is happening. The last RSPC was that is when the term face-to-face was not yet popular or not yet used regularly. That was December 2019 in Dipolog, where we had our RSPC. And then, of course, we had none for the school year 2020-2021. And this one that we are having now, the 2021 RSPC, or the Regional Sports School Press Conference, is supposedly to be held last December 2021, because this is actually for school year 2021-2022. But because of some procurement issues, we were not able to hold it that time. Everything happens for a purpose. So indeed, we are thankful to God that it is now happening. And though it is virtually, we are happy that our campus journalists are provided the opportunity to again virtually, for the first time rather, engage and develop their talents and skills in journalism. So with that, I would like to congratulate the officers and members of the revived Regional School Press School Paper Advisors Association, of course, with Sir Rodolphe, John Rodriguez as their advisors, and of course, Ma'am Alma Biton for Filipino. The two in tandem are really have been moving heaven and earth here in the regional office to put this to fruition. But I would like to inform you that the whole CLMD family, no, led by Chief Eugene B. Penales, are all on their toes, providing the necessary support for this activity to go on to happen. So with this year's theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan, or in English, Campus Journalism, Catalyst for Healing and Rising of the Community, indeed is a very inspiring and relevant theme. So I would like to extend my best wishes to all the campus journalists who are fortunate to be with us in this 2021 RSPC. So with God's grace, hopefully everybody will enjoy their participation, and with the battery of speakers that for the first time we invited, not limited to Region 9, but indeed there were other personalities from the whole Philippines, if I may say it, no, were considered for this activity. So again, I would like to express my heartfelt and warm welcome to all the delegates, all the school paper advisors from the eight schools divisions of Regional Office 9. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pedro Melchor M. Natividad. I bet everyone is set for this long and most awaited event. We have many things in store for our viewers and participants.
This time, to give us the rationale and objectives of our event, let's have our CLMD Chief, Dr. Eugenio B. Penales. Sir?
My greetings to one and all, especially to our Regional Director, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes, as CESO 4, our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Pedro Melchor M. Natividad, CSEE, our 8 schools division superintendents of the 8 schools division offices of DepEd Zamboanga Peninsula Region, all our CID chiefs, our focal persons of campus journalism of the different schools division offices, our coaches, and our journalists. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, a much better morning to one and all. The relevance of journalism continues to penetrate in both public and private schools in the Republic of the Philippines. This is good news. In fact, it is very encouraging seeing students who are eager training themselves in the various writing and technical categories of journalism. Some even end up pursuing journalism or communication courses in college and fortunate enough to work in the mainstream print and broadcast media in the country. However, journalism has its own norms and standards. The media institutions in the country have observed that power of social media. The freedom to inform is abused. Sharing of fake news is rampant, and people are confused of who and what to believe in. That is why there is a need to go back to the norms and standards. There is a need for media ethics to be discussed. There is a need for media education for everyone. While writing is dynamic, the campus journalists are bound by standards and ethics. Their knack of writing is much needed, especially in times of global health pandemic. Cognizant of its importance, there is a need to equip the campus journalists with different theories and concepts, knowledge and skills, and develop among themselves the ethical standards in dealing with issues relevant to the global pandemic. Hence, pursuant to Republic Act number 7079, also known as Campus Journalism Act of 1991, and its IRR, specifically Rule 9 of Section 1, the Department of Education Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula Region, through the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, shall conduct the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference, or Rspc, dubbed as the Regional Conference on Campus Journalism in the 21st Century, with the theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. Starting today, March 23, 2022, until March 25, 2022, that's Friday, then on March 28, for the awarding and closing ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, this 3-day RSPC 2021 aims to instill the ethical standards in campus journalism to students and develop in them the spirit of transformative journalism in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. This conference aims to capacitate the campus journalists with understanding of the importance of journalism by expressing its through different journalistic endeavors and approaches. Sustain advocacy on social consciousness and environmental awareness. Provide an avenue for an enriching learning experience for learners interested in pursuing journalism as a career. Then introduce the new RSPC events. Hopefully, we will be able to promote responsible journalism and fair and ethical use of social media and enhance campus journalistic skills of students across the divisions through healthy and friendly competitions. Again, we would like to say congratulations to all our contestants for this year's Rspc of DepEd Zamboanga Peninsula Region. A much better morning to one and all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eugene B. Penales. And to formally introduce our keynote speaker, let's have our Department of Education Regional Director, Dr. Youth L. Puentes.
Our keynote for this event is a man who wears many hats. He works as a media consultant and publicist for government offices and also to private companies. He is a public information officer in the municipality of Tanza in Cavite, where he initiated weekly Facebook newscasts to his fellow Tanzanians during the height of pandemic. And that's a good initiative, sir. He is also a regular columnist for Abante Tonight, on topics on Sa Akin Lang, which includes lifestyle, food, health, career, and other pressing issues. He is a part-time lecturer in the Far Eastern University, where he also teaches mass communication with subjects dwelling on journalism, broadcasting principles, practices, radio and TV production. In his educational background, he finished his Master's in Business Ad at Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, where I also taught for about 3 years before I got married. He also earned his Bachelor in Mass Communication degree as magna cum laude in 2004 in the same school. At present, he is taking his doctoral degree, majoring in public or in developmental administration, majoring in public governance at the Philippine Christian University in Manila. He is a broadcast journalism trainer, a resource person of campus journalism, a school paper advisor in different divisions and regions across the country. He started as a news anchor in Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation or IBC 13 in 2004 and eventually transferred to Kapuso Network in 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, young journalists, paper advisors, my fellow DepEd Zamboanga Peninsula, it is indeed my privilege to welcome before you our keynote speaker, Mr. Julius M. Segovia.
Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruth Fuentes, for that wonderful introduction. First, I would like to greet all the DepEd officials, school heads, principals, of course, school paper advisors, and of course, ang bida po natin ngayong online RSPC, ang mga campus journalists. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Sir RJ Rodolph John Rodriguez for inviting me to be the keynote speaker in this year's Regional Schools Press Conference ng Zamboanga Peninsula. When he messaged me through Messenger, I think that was late last year. That was, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, that's per month. Without a second thought, I said yes. I think it is incumbent upon me as a media practitioner to uplift the hearts and minds of our young journalists in these trying times of COVID-19 pandemic. Ikalawang taon na po tayong nakipaglaban sa pandemya. Nasa alert level 1 na ang malaking bahagi ng bansa, pero hindi pa rin po tayo dapat pakasiguro. Katunayan, iba't ibang variants pa rin po ang nadidiskubre sa ibang bansa na kalaunay pinangangambahang pumasok din dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. Undeniably, education was hit by the pandemic. A big adjustment from the usual face-to-face classes to distance learning, which is still being implemented in most parts of our country. Thank you to DepEd officials, school heads, principals, teachers, who are very quick in responding to the needs of the students. Nakakataba po ng puso na hindi tayo nagpatalo sa pandemya. Sa halip, ginamit po natin ito, ang pagkakataong ito para mas lalo pa tayong tumibay sa mga hamon ng buhay. Kapuri-puri po ang Region 9 dahil sa kabila ng mga limitasyon, kakulangan at hamong dala ng pandemya, heto po kayo. Nandito po tayo, nasa isang online application para sa virtual Rspc. Masigit na kailangan natin na linangin ang galing at husay ng mga batang mamamahayag. Bakit? Kailangan po kayo ng bansa, ng mundo, lalo na ngayong nagkalat sa social media ang fake news. Fake news can be a matter of life and death, especially during these trying times of COVID-19 pandemic. Sa totoo lang, UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez once said, access to reliable information is more than just a basic human right. It can be a matter of life and death. Sa record po ng World Health Organization, itong unang 3 buwan ng 2020, ito po yung kasagsagan ng pandemya, 6,000 ang naospital, habang 800 naman ang nasawi dahil po sa maling impormasyon. Marami ang nagpapakalat ng fake news kaugnay sa COVID-19 na di umano'y mas nakasama ang bakuna, na kaya naman palang gamutin lang daw sa bahay ang COVID-19 kahit pa malala na ang ubo at sipon ng pasyente. Dahil madali po tayong mapapaniwala, madalas yan pa po yung nagiging mitya ng kapahamakan. Ang simpleng share, repost, o yung atin pong retweet, malaki po yung impact niyan sa ibang tao. Kaya maging mapanuri sa content material na ating binabasa, atin pong mga nakikita sa ating news feed sa Facebook, at pati na sa iba't ibang mga social media apps, lalo na po ngayon na talagang hit na hit ang TikTok. It is high time that we empower young minds like our campus journalists through the supervision of our SPAs. Kaagapay po kayo ng bansa sa paghilom at pagbangon ng sambayanan. Tandaan, sa balita umaasa at kumakapit ang publiko, lalo na't novel o bago ang COVID-19 virus. Maging ang mga siyentipiko ngayon pa lang din nakakadiskubre po ng mga paraan kung paano ito lalabanan. Kaya tayo ang dapat na maging instrumento sa pagbabalita ng wasto, kompleto at komprehensibo. Hindi po sapat na may alam lang tayo. Mas importanteng may pakialam tayo sa mga nangyayari sa mundo. Ibig sabihin, we need to care. We need to show compassion to others. By what? Of course, by sharing right and truthful information that could be of help to the general public. Let us all be responsible citizens. Let us unite in fighting the deadly virus. Let our pens be our weapons. Finally, let us all use this responsibly. Thank you and God bless you all. Congratulations po sa lahat and good luck sa lahat ng participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very informative speech, Sir Julius. Rest assured, everything that you have said is well noted. This time, to present the certificate of recognition to our guest speaker, let's have our CLMD Chief, Dr. Eugenio Penales.
Certificate of recognition is awarded to Julius M. Segovia, columnist, Abante Tonight, media consultant, Petrogas, former GMA News reporter, for sharing his expertise as keynote speaker during the opening ceremonies of the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference held on March 23 to 25 and 28, 2022 with the theme Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan, given this 23rd day of March 2022 at Regional Office Center, Balintawak, Pagadian City, Philippines. Signed, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes, CESO4 Regional Director. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Julius M. Segovia.
Once again, thank you so much for gracing our event, Sir Julius. At this juncture, to give us an intermission number, ladies and gentlemen, let's have Mr. Darren Descaliar, our National Teachers Got Talent finalist.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I'll bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad that we didn't listen. Look how far we wouldn't miss it. They said, I'll bet they'll never make it. But just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. You're still the one. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. You're still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. You're still the one.
Thank you so much, Darren. This time, ladies and gentlemen, to give us her message, let us all welcome our Department of Education Regional Director, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes.
A blessed day to all of us. If there's good thing that this pandemic has brought us, is the realization that there are things which we are capable without us realizing pre-pandemic days. And this is about the hybrid approach. No, it's I'm pretty excited. What hybrid approach am I talking about here? Well, we all know that in our limited face-to-face, it's a both combination of face-to-face and printed modules and online. I'm excited with our regional school press conference because first, this is my first time to witness this activity in Zamboanga Peninsula as your RD. And also after 2 years, after long wait, finally, my ultimate favorite press conference is here. I came in from a region where press conference is something that we really look forward to. And I hope this region also is somehow na-miss dapat natin yung press conference, hindi lang sa division, hindi lang sa region, but of course our national press conference. You know, journalism is something that is very, very close to my heart because I grew up loving reading. My mom would always tell me that mas nauna daw akong magbasa kaysa magsalita ng maayos, no? Because I was fortunate to be exposed to many books at home. That's why I remember reading everything, loving reading, lahat binabasa ko, no? Well, of course, as I grew up, siguro one way or another, di ko alam doon sa mga ka-generation ko. Well, it's the love for, well, pocket books then, in my high school days, yung mga Mills and Boons, and then I shifted to some novels, and may mga Kindle na dyan wherein may mga digitized books na. But for me, I always cherish holding a book and reading it because I cannot imagine life without the beautiful stories, without the meaningful biographies of people, without reading culture, without immersing myself to some international views. And for me, I can only find that in reading good materials. So I don't know how you started your passion for journalism. I hope one way or another, your mom o siguro yung mga magulang niyo or your teacher niyo might have ignited your passion for be it in cartooning, be it in writing. You know how we started is immaterial. What is important is we do work with passion. This competition is not just winning or losing it, or just it's about how you journey with other co-journalists in terms of well, you're expressing yourself. We have various ways of expression. No? Iba-iba tayo ng paraan. Yung iba nagsusulat, yung iba they have their personal journal. Ako, I do that also. Yung iba, they just mas komportable sila na digitize na nga, techie, scribbling, or yung iba naman, they just post on social media. That's, well, we respect everyone's varied ways of expressing themselves or communicating themselves. But what important that I should always remind everyone is the responsibility that goes well with it. You know, we have this freedom of expression. Everyone has freedom, but that freedom ends when you already step on someone else's toes. So what will be for the paper advisors, isa din kayo sa favorite group ko because I have been very, very close to a lot of paper advisors in my previous regions because I know they can make and unmake the future of our young journalists. Yung influence niya napakalaki sa kanila. We have this old saying that you can never share something that you don't have. Though I hope yung passion nyo ay you're able to infect or to sana maging contagious yan, isama nyo yung ating mga bata dun sa passion nyo in writing and speaking for what is true, what is noble, what is right, and what is good. And most of all, what is really honest. Hindi pwedeng truth will always come out. Truth and honesty should go hand in hand together. Okay, so I'm very glad that we are pushing through with our regional school press conference. So I hope we have a good chance this time in participating for the national level. Huwag naman kayo magpa-pressure, but I hope yung 2 years the teachers, yung ating mga paper advisors, yung 2 years that we have been working from home somehow made us better professionals. You had the opportunity to read, to explore more other possibilities, and that itself is something that you can very well share with our young journalists, especially under your tutelage. So, without further ado, I welcome this activity, and I hope this will be a 3 or 4 day activity, will be a meaningful one. I will be visiting you on site. Ngayon lang, it's unfortunate that I cannot be with you in person, but definitely on the coming days, I will see you. Diyan lang naman ako, I just stay there. So, God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes. And of course, thank you also for reminding us to push our respective passion, Gay.
Yes.
Surely this Rspc 2021 provides a worthwhile experience to our learners. But at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, to give us their inspirational messages, here are Ma'am Jocelyn D.R. Andaya, Director of Bureau of Curriculum Development, Ma'am Alma Rspc Torrio, Assistant Secretary of Curriculum Instruction, and Mr. Diosdado M. San Antonio, Undersecretary of Curriculum Instruction.
Mayong adlaw sa inyong lahat. To the Assistant Secretary for Curriculum and Instruction, ASEC Alma Torrio, to the Regional Director of Region 9, Ruth Fuentes, and the ARD, Pete Natividad, the CLMD Chief, Eugene Peñales, and all my colleagues in the region and division offices, our teachers, advisors, coaches, and of course, our learners. Again, maayo na aga. Thank to everyone. Today, I take pride as I join the entire region in honing the skills of future media personalities through the efficient conduct of the Regional Schools Press Conference with the theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. Again, it's always an honor to witness how students showcase their expertise in the various journalism categories from print to audiovisual media. What delights me most about this event is that the curriculum content will be translated into purposeful and meaningful products and performances, which serve as the critical evidence of learning on the part of the student journalists. Today, we also highlight the significance of the journalism program, which provides a curriculum anchored on industry-based content and performance standards that maximize the potential of the learners, thereby preparing them for studies and career in journalism and related fields. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic has magnified the role of campus press in educating school communities on issues that help not just in spreading the truth, but more significantly in saving lives. Journalism in the current context assumes the responsibility of producing responsible and accountable media consumers and producers. As your conference commences, I wish to call the attention of the student participants to underscore the significance of excellence and ethics, which embody the core values expected of the press to help in transforming the society and, of course, our nation. As you all get busy with the conference events, let me remind our dear student participants and even the journalism mentors that the existence of campus press is rooted in the people's right to information and freedom of expression guaranteed by the 1987 Philippine Constitution, making the practice of journalism a fundamental aspect of a democratic society. Especially in the age of disinformation and misinformation, effective and responsible journalism has the ability to empower and transform the nation. The United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, recognizes that quality journalism education and training is the key to professional and ethical practice of the discipline. To our campus press, may you always be mindful about your responsibility to share only verified facts by putting premium on the paramount value of source checking as you engage yourselves with critical reading and as you strive to identify and counter hoaxes and, of course, to correct fake news. To our valued journalism stakeholders, from school administrators to educators, let us collaborate in establishing and sustaining a functional journalism program as schools transition to be information and educational centers via radio-based and TV-based instruction. What we are up to are educated students who will define the future of news production when the right time comes. Let me congratulate all of you for the all-out support you're extending to the journalism program of the department, and I wish you well in your aspiration to hail the best among this year's list of competent student journalists. Finally, allow me to leave you with a quote from Margaret Duras, which says, "Journalism without a moral position is impossible. Every journalist is a moralist. It's absolutely unavoidable. A journalist is someone who looks at the world and the way it works, someone who takes a close look at the things every day and reports what she sees, and someone who represents the world, the event, for others. She or he cannot do her work without judging what he or she sees." End of quote. Once again, good day, mabuhay, and good luck.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It is noteworthy that the history of campus journalism in the Philippines started when the University of Santo Tomas published El Lilliputiense in 1890. It sprouted as a path for an enjoyable bustle of the staff of the campus paper in collecting, organizing, and presenting views, writing editorial features, and literary articles. In this time, when blogs are easily created and published, where validated and unvalidated information are transmittable worldwide, our campus journalists have greater role in this time. They are not merely readers and consumers of information, but they are content managers of the campus paper where news and information are validated and revalidated so that the campus paper stands as a respectable avenue for healing, as the theme Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan do suggest. Our young journalists should always stand to what is good and what is right. You should never allow yourselves to be used or to be manipulated in any way by anyone in broadcasting, writing, or reporting of well-corroborated information and well-thought opinion that could stand in the midst of this besieged world. In the middle of the crisis we are into, and in the soaring prices of commodities, allow yourselves to transmit inspiration and strength, and let your pens shine and your voices heard calmly. To the prime movers of this activity, led by RD Ruth Fuentes and ARD Pete Natividad, congratulations, and may you continue to enjoy showing your enthusiasm through this kind of activities for our learners. God bless at maraming salamat po.
Pagbati sa mga kasamang nagtatrabaho sa DepEd Region 9 na pinamumunuan ng ating patnugot Dr. Ruth Fuentes. Maraming salamat din Eugene sa ating Chief ng Curriculum and Learning Management Division sa Region 9. We join you as you do your Regional Schools Press Conference. You are all aware that among our priorities in ensuring that the youngsters are able to develop 21st century skills is the conduct of relevant co-curricular activities. And of course, if you ask me, press conferences, which of course highlight the journalistic talents of our youngsters, would be among those that should be given emphasis. The road to excellence is not easy, but aware of the passion of your Chief, Eugene, and your Regional Director, Ruth, I am confident that Region 9 will continue to sustain efforts towards excellence. And when we talk about excellence, it's not about being perfect, but it is about being able to continue in our efforts to improve over our previous performances. Excellence is also about being able to perform ordinary things in extraordinary ways. And again, journalism is a fertile ground for us to nurture youngsters who are critical in their ways of thinking, creative in their approach to life, and of course, the endless pursuit of truth. A journalist will never settle for something that is not true. And as we live in this so-called VUCAD world, where vulnerability, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, and diversity is indeed real, it is much more important for the youngsters and even us adult citizens to be able to think critically and creatively and address the so-called fake news, disinformation, and misinformation that flood social media and other facets of our society. So again, all the best for the team of DepEd Region 9 in the National Schools Press Conference, and let us never waver in finding better ways of nurturing the talents of the Filipino youngsters. We all wish to see them becoming citizens of our country who are passionately in love with the Republic of the Philippines and who will never stop in using their talents and potentials to serve and be a part of nation building. After all, the Department of Education is also an institution that desires to continue to improve itself in rendering basic education services for our clients, the youngsters, who are the hope of the motherland. Mabuhay po kayo. God bless.
Thank you so much for that, sir and ma'am. This time, Sir Chris, basahin naman natin yung mga comments at shoutouts na meron tayo sa ating Facebook Live. Grabe, hype talagang ating mga viewers sa FB.
Tama, Gay, at na-miss natin kanina yung pagbasa ng mga messages nila. So let's have Marjon Yapak from Marjon Yapak. Good morning, everyone watching from Dipolog City National High School, Dipolog City Division. Hello, Marjon, and to all the campus journalists and school paper advisors of Dipolog City Division.
Hello sa inyo ang tanan dire. Next is from Jezreel Rabanal Rubia. Good morning, Jezreel B. Rabanal, watching from Matunoy Elementary School, Gutalak 1, Division of Zamboanga del Norte. Hello!
Hello, Gutalak!
Yes, next, Sir Chris.
Tingnan natin dito. Watching here in Matunoy ES, Gutalak, na-mention na kanina. Eto, Gay. Live watching, Jimmy J. Lauman of Antonio National High School, Tigaw 2, Zamboanga del Sur Division. Ayun.
Meron pa tayong another shout out, sir. Good morning from Iris Charis Molina, watching from Tulungatong National High School. Hello, Iris!
And
Hi
also to Junipe Dayaw. Good morning, watching from Norberta Gulyar Memorial National High School, Pagadian City Division. Ayun.
Also watching with us live here is Sir Randy from Zamboanga National High School West, Zamboanga City Division. Hello to all our viewers here in Zamboanga City. Meron din tayong another shout out from Jeffiel B. Aranwes, watching from Matunoy Elementary. Grabe, napaka-active din, no? Another shout out from Adelaida Hemina Ederosa, watching from Pagadian City Division. Sir Chris, meron pa ba tayo?
And of course, good morning, fellow educators watching from the Pitan City Division from Charma Avenido, Humawan. Napaka-excited ko, Gay, because, you know what? Etong virtual Regional Schools Press Conference, yung pag-gather ng mga participants, kahit virtual man, pero nararamdaman natin yung ingay at yung excitement.
Yes, grabe, no? Andun pa rin talaga yung thrill. Inaabangan pa rin talaga ang ating event na to. Sa hinaba-haba ba naman ng panahon na wala ito, at ngayon na bumalik, siguro it's time talaga, Sir Chris, no, na i-full blast talaga nila yung excitement, ang thrill na nararamdaman nila at this moment. And so, Sir Chris,
tingnan natin kung ano yung mga activities natin.
Magbabasa tayo later ng mga shout-outs. Okay, this time, Sir Chris, to do the presentation of the 2021 Rspc Program of Activities, let's have Dr. Alma M. Beton, Education Program Supervisor for Filipino, CLMD Region 9. Ma'am?
Our deputy officials from the central office, our very own regional director, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes, CESO 4, our OIC Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Pedro Melchor M. Natividad, CSEE, Schools Division Superintendents and Assistant Schools Division Superintendents of the 8 divisions, the Chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Dr. Eugenio B. Pinales, other chiefs of the functional divisions of DepEd Region 9, CID chiefs, fellow education program supervisors, and other officials of the region, and the 8 SDOs, guests, resource speakers and judges, contestants, coaches, members of the program management team, and to all viewers, a blessed Wednesday morning to one and all. I'd like to present to you the 2021 Rspc Program of Activities. Which is scheduled March 23 to 25 and 28, 2022. We are now on our day 1 and on our opening program, which is scheduled 8 to 11 in the morning. Immediately after this, will follow the plenary session 1 on journalism, code of ethics, and plagiarism. Then, at 12 to 1 p.m., we shall have a lunch break. We are informing everyone that we have invited resource speakers on the different contest categories. And immediately after their inputs, the contest proper will follow. We are also informing you that for every contest category, we have an assigned ICT, proctor, and RSPAA officer to take charge of the event. So at 1 to 3 p.m., we have speakers' inputs and contest proper on the different contest categories. News writing, elementary and secondary, for English and Filipino. Feature writing, elementary and secondary, for English. Pagsulat ng lathalain, elementary and secondary, Filipino. At 3 to 5 p.m., we have the following categories: photojournalism, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. Sports writing, elementary and secondary, English. Pagsulat ng balitang sports, elementary and secondary, Filipino. Editorial and column writing, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. For day 2, that is tomorrow, we start the activity at 8. So 8 to 12, here are the events. Infomercial, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. Online publication, secondary level only, for English and Filipino. And we have documentary film. Under this, we have investigative report, science discovery, advocacy journalism, secondary level, English and Filipino. Then we have campus journalism blog, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. At 12 to 1 is the schedule for lunch break. So we resume at 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with the following categories: editorial cartooning, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. Then radio script writing and broadcasting, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. We are informing you that the events mentioned per hour assigned are to be tested simultaneously. On day 3, March 25, here are the following categories. 8 to 12, we start with mobile journalism, secondary level, English and Filipino. TV script writing and broadcasting, secondary level, English and Filipino. Research on campus journalism, secondary level, English. And research on campus journalism, secondary level, Filipino. Expectedly at 12 to 1 is the lunch break. Then we resume at 1 to 2:30 p.m. This time, it's no longer a category for competition, but it's an orientation on the search for most outstanding campus journalists. We are involving elementary and secondary pupils and students, both English and Filipino. And at 2:30 to 4 p.m., we have the orientation on outstanding journalism project, elementary and secondary, English and Filipino. So, on March 28th, that's Monday, next week, that's the schedule for the awarding and closing ceremonies. So that's all for the activities. I hope everyone is guided. Thank you and a better much morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, to do the presentation of our restored speakers for this event, let's have Dr. Rodolfo John Rodriguez, Education Program Supervisor for English, CLMD, Region 9.
Okay, thank you so much. A much better morning to everyone. Okay, we are actually blessed to have with us our speakers who actually are well chosen because I personally know their accomplishments in terms of campus journalism. I personally have connections with them, and I have seen them receiving a plethora of awards related to campus journalism, and they are acknowledged speakers, resource speakers and facilitators and even writers in various journalism related endeavors. So let me begin with our first. We have our we are lucky because our first speaker actually will be dealing with um, a topic which is very important to all the campus journalists and school paper advisors, given the fact that we are now in the social media. So we have Attorney Cliff Cyril Magallanes, our attorney for Legal Unit of Region 9 for Plenary 1, Journalism Code of Ethics and Plagiarism. Okay. Now, this will be our first speaker for the contests and lectures series. Okay, this afternoon, our speaker, we have Dr. Harley B. Aglosolos, Education Program Supervisor from the Schools Division of Davao City for the topic News Writing. We have Education Program Supervisor from Region 1, Ilocos, Dr. Johnson B. Sunga for Feature Writing English. We have Sir Jonathan B. N. Manuel, Executive Chief of Staff of the City Mayor's Office, LGU Coronadal. He was a former teacher, now working at the LGU for the topic Pagsulat ng Lathalain. Okay, for day 1 still, we have Dr. Tito M. Endrina, Education Program Supervisor from Division of Digos City, Region 11 for photojournalism. We have, well, the NSPC Most Outstanding School Paper Advisor, Master Teacher 2 from Diosdado Macapagal Elementary School, National Capital Region, Sir Rangren de la Cruz for Pagsulat ng Balitang Sports. We have Dr. Ricky Bipante, Master Teacher 2 from Spotwood National High School, Region 12 for Sports Writing. This is for English. And we have Master Teacher 1 from Manawag National High School, Division of Pangasinan City, Edison R. Mendoza for Editorial and Column Writing. This is for Region 1, from Region 1. Day 2, battery of speakers. We have a faculty from Jose Rizal Memorial State University Main Campus, Dapitan City, Region 9, Dr. Paterno S. Baginat III for online publication. Day 2 speaker also for infomercial, Sir Kerwin M. Rijes, Master Teacher 2 from Demetrio Tuazon Elementary School, the regional president of the National Capital Region from SDO Quezon City. We have speakers side by side. They will be working in pair. We have Sir J. Chris A. Marquez, Teacher 3, Cotecchon National High School with Sir Nor Salim Impal, Teacher 3 from the same school of SDO Pagadian City from Region 9 for the topic documentary film. We also have Day 2, a Philippine Daily Inquirer writer, YouTuber, correspondent of the GMA7 News channel, Sir Villamor C. Visaya Jr. for Campus Journalism Vlog. And we have the Regional Information Officer from Region 12, SOC Sergeant for Radio Script Writing and Broadcasting. We have Sir Antonio Maganto. And our National Illustrator for DepEd, Master Teacher 1 from Zamboanga City National High School, Division of Zamboanga City, Sir Gilbert B. Zamora for Editorial Cartooning. For Day 3 speakers, we have Master Teacher 1, the Most Outstanding School Paper Advisor of Region 12 in 2020 from Mlang National High School, SDO of Cotabato. We have Sir Aldren T. Ragual, TV Script Writing and Broadcasting as his topic. We have the former president of the National School Papers Association from the National Capital Region, Sir Manuel C. Zacarias for the topic Mobile Journalism. And we have the Master Teacher 2 from Diplaha National High School, Division of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Dr. Maria Teresa D. Balbin for the topic Research on Campus Journalism, Filipino. And for Research on Campus Journalism English, Dr. Romel C. Robledo, Teacher 3 from Gipos National High School, Zamboanga del Sur Division. And for the afternoon, our last speaker in Day 3, the Public Information Officer of Regional Office 2, Amir Aquino for the topics Orientation on the Search for Most Outstanding Campus Journalists and Orientation on Outstanding Journalism Project. For these topics, we don't have competitions. We are yet to launch these competitions this year. Okay, that would be all. Thank you.
Fifi.
Thank you so much for that, Sir John. This time, to give us a special number, let's have our Tawag ng Tanghalan Season 1 Grand Finalist, Miss Maricel Calio.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to everyone. Good morning, campus journalists, coaches, DepEd regional officials, parents, students, and sa lahat po na nanonood ngayong this morning. And I would like to give you my first song. Actually, I have two songs for everybody. And my first song is an OPM song, and I hope na you will love this.
Isip sa mundong ito, nakinatuwa ng magulang mo, at ang kamay nila ang iyong ilaw. At ang nanay at tatay mo'y di malaman ang gagawin, minamasdan pati pagtulong mo. At sa bibig ang iyong nan sa tingla ng gatas mo. At sa umaga naman kalot ka ng iyong ama, tuwang-tuwa sa'yo. Ngayon ay malaki ka na, nais mo'y maging malaya, di sila ay walang magagawa. Ikaw nga'y biglang nagbago, nakikinis ang iyong ulo, at ang payo nila ay sinuway mo. Di mo inisip ang kanilang ginagawa para sa'yo. Pagkat nais mo'y masunod ang layaw mo, di mo sila pinapansin. Nagdaan ba ang mga araw at ang landas mo'y naligaw, ikaw'y nalulong sa masamang bisyo. At ang una mong nilapitan ang iyong luluha, at ang tanong, anak, ba't ka nagkaganyan? At ang iyong mga matay biglang lumuha ng di mo napansin. Nagsisisi at sa isip mo'y alam na ika'y nagkamali. Nagsisisi at sa isip mo'y nalaman mo ika'y nagkamali.
Thank you so much po. And by this time, I'd like to give you a medley song. Ayan. Para po sa inyong lahat.
answers to my questions in your eyes. I can see the reasons why I'm lost in your eyes. Just inside me that you will find to love you more. If I had to live without you near me, this would all be empty. Nights would seem so long with you. I see forever, oh so clearly. I might have been in love before. Never felt this strong. Dreams are young and we both know they take us where we want to go. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't wanna live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You won't know by now how much I love you. One thing you can't be sure of, I never asked for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You won't know by now how much I love you. The woman changed my whole life through, but nothing's gonna change my love. No, nothing's gonna change my love for you. You won't know by now how much I love you. One thing you can't be sure of, I never asked for more than your one-sided love, got to get rough when I hit the brush. You went your way and I went mine. Boy, you'd understand if your heart was mine. If we had exchanged our hearts, what I felt, you'd feel the pain when the memories start. If we had an exchange of ours, when the time turns the tables, and soon I'll be able to find a new romance. And then I do remember our love wasn't tender, too late for a second chance. But I guess my best was you, 'cause here we are back where we were before. Seems nothing ever changes. We're back to being strangers. Wondered if we ought to stay or head out of the door. Just once, can we figure out what we keep doing wrong? Why we never last for very long? What are we doing wrong? Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? Oh, to make magic last. just one life that we can share to it. I know you're a good just once. I hope you understand why it always comes back to if why can we get ourselves ahead and into one another? We're no good without each other. Take the best and make it better. Always is time together just once. Can we find a way to make magic last for more than just one life? If we could just get to it just once, we can get through it. Just
Maraming salamat po, and bago po ko makalimutan, maraming salamat po sa support Region 9. Cagayan City, ayan, Zamboanga del Sur, Isabela City, Zamboanga del Norte, and sino ba ang nakalimutan ko? Pagadian City, ayan po, and Zamboanga City. Maraming salamat po. God bless us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marisol Calio. Of course, maraming salamat for sharing your voice with us. This time, we shall now have the hoisting of the division banners to be done by the schools division superintendents, assistant schools division superintendents, and CID chiefs. You know what, Gay? Kung face-to-face lang siguro to, we can surely hear the cheers, yell, and screams of the blazing souls of our participants. Of course, we are very grateful in showing the support of our schools division superintendents of different divisions. Maraming salamat sa inyong suporta.
Kaya nga, Sir Chris, nakakamiss talaga ang ganung mode, no? But you know, exploring another mode can also be an intense challenge because dito natin makikita kung gaano ba katindi ang excitement ng ating mga participants sa ating 8 divisions sa Region 9 kahit na virtual lang tayo.
Tama. And so, di na natin patatagalin pa. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let us witness the hoisting of the banner to be done by our superintendents coming from 8 divisions here in Region 9.
Sulog kabataan sa marchas kaalam, atong pagkatunan tay di pinahanglan. Paminas kinikanan, sunda si Sir o si Ma'am, edukasyon gangaas kalampusan. Sulog kabataan sa marchas kaalam, atong pagkatunan tay di pinahanglan. Paminas kinikanan, sunda si Sir o si Ma'am, edukasyon gangaas kalampusan.
Isabella, land of the free, God's blessings shine on thee. With all the good and brotherhood, a great new city you'll be. Dear Isabella, cradle of love, the only one we have. We'll work and toil the sea and soil and make you great as can be.
Is a beautiful city, just like a pearl of the southern sea, with its people so friendly and sincere. Pagadian, so wonderful to stay. Every garden is filled with red roses, and the sound of lovely music fills the air. Lovers in the bar, softly strumming guitar. Pagadian, you're always in my heart.
of the hoisting of our Regional Office 9 banner to be done by our Regional Director, Dr. Ruth Fuentes, our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Pedro Melchor Natividad, and our CLMD Chief, Dr. Eugenio Penales.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All the banners are finally raised high. This time, we would like to request all the campus journalists, wherever they are, to join us in reciting the creed, to be led by Raya Marie F. Saniza, first placer in radio broadcasting and script writing, best anchor from Aurora Regional Pilot School, Zamboanga del Sur Division.
My fellow journalists, please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. The Journalist's Creed. I believe in the profession of journalism. I believe that the public journal is a public trust, that all connected with it are, to the full measure of their responsibility, trustees for the public, that acceptance of a lesser service than the public service is betrayal of this trust. I believe that clear thinking and clear statement, accuracy and fairness are fundamental to good journalism. I believe that a journalist should write only what he holds in his heart to be true. I believe that suppression of the news for any consideration other than the welfare of society is indefensible. I believe that no one should write as a journalist what he would not say as a gentleman. That bribery by one's own pocketbook is as much to be avoided as bribery by the pocketbook of another. That individual responsibility may not be escaped by pleading another's instructions or another's dividends. I believe that advertising, news, and editorial columns should alike serve the best interest of readers. That a single standard of helpful truth and cleanness should prevail for all. That the supreme test of good journalism is the measure of its public service. I believe that the journalism which succeeds best and best deserves success, fears God and honors man, is stoutly independent, unmoved by pride of opinion or greed of power, constructive, tolerant but never careless, self-controlled, patient, always respectful to its readers, but always unafraid, is quickly indignant at injustice, is unswayed by the appeal of privilege or the clamor of the mob, seeks to give every man a chance, and, as far as law and honest wage and recognition of human brotherhood can make it so, an equal chance, is profoundly patriotic while sincerely promoting international goodwill and cementing world comradeship, is a journalism of humanity, of and for today's world.
Thank you so much for that, Haraya, and to all our participants coming from our 8 divisions in Region 9. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to do the formal declaration of the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference, let's have once again our very own Regional Director, Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes.
Truly, this is the day that the Lord has made. I now declare the 2021 Regional School Press Conference open.
Finally, our RSPC 2021 is formally open.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end of our program for this morning. But this end is just the beginning of this most prestigious and exciting Regional Press Conference 2021.
Indeed, Gay, as we formally open this event, we are so excited to once again feel the heat of this challenging yet fun press conference.
To our DepEd Region 9 and Division leaders, we say thank you so much for spearheading this amazing event. To all our participants, we say our sincerest good luck and congratulations in advance. Once again, this is your host, Ms. Mary Gay and Resurrection.
And Chris Kinko saying thank you so much and God bless everyone. And stay safe
and have a blessed day. Please stay tuned for our plenary session after this short break.
Bye-bye. Good luck. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So it was formally opened earlier, our Regional Schools Press Conference 2022. And we are going to proceed with the second part, Gay, which is the
Yes.
plenary session.
But before we go to the plenary session, Sir Chris, let's read muna some shoutouts dito sa ating Facebook Live kasi ang dami na talagang nagre-react at nag-share. At least we have to acknowledge them kasi from the beginning of the show until the end, hindi talaga sila nag-leave. Okay, let's read some shout out here. Shout out from Zamboanga Sibugay Division, the online publication team composed of CJ Saile, Rain Rose Quintero, Caroline Humalon Mayol, Marian Grace, with our intelligent and gorgeous coach, Ella Matugas Bandes, Sinangote, Laban Sibugay. That's from CJ Saile. Wow, grabe.
Meron din dito, Gay. Shout out from Dapitan City National High School, hashtag Dapitan City Division, Laban lang Dapitanon, and Dapitan City from Princess Colleen Binyas Miro.
Meron din dito, Sir Chris, from Jamila A. Lapis. Good morning po! Watching from Zamboanga City Division, Jamila A. Lapis of Ayala National High School, cheering for Zamboanga City delegates, especially the Reflectors Rspc qualifiers. Hello sa inyong lahat dyan! Buenos dias! Thank you for watching!
Yes, Gay. While waiting for our speaker, we would like also to inform and remind again our schedule of the event. Next in line, we are going to have the plenary and then lunch break tayo, Gay, at 12 noon to 1 o'clock. Then we are going to begin the competition of our Regional Schools Press Conference at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, starting with news writing, feature writing, at pagsulat ng lathalain, both elementary and secondary. Then we have at 3 o'clock to 5 p.m., we are going to have the photojournalism, sports writing, pagsulat ng balitang sports, editorial, and column writing. And of course,
meron pa ba tayo dyan, Sir Chris?
yes, Gay. At sa day 2 natin, bukas, we are going to have our new competition or category. We are going to have the infomercial, online publication, documentary film, investigative report, science discovery, advocacy, journalism, campus journalism blog. And in the afternoon, we are going to proceed with the editorial cartooning, radio broadcasting, and script writing. Then on the third day, we are going to have the mobile journalism, TV, script writing and broadcasting, research and campus journalism, and of course, the orientation on the search for most outstanding campus journalism and outstanding journalism project orientation as well.
Grabe, no, Sir Chris, napaka-intense talaga, no, ng activities natin. But for sure, lahat ng ating mga participants sa ating event ay handang-handa na.
And sobrang excited na natin malaman yung mga winners natin, guys, sa March 28.
Yes, sabi nga nila, kung gaano man kahaba ang laban na mangyayari, there will always be a winner at the end.
That is
Sino
right.
kaya, Sir Chris? Sino kaya?
Pero ang pinakamaganda dito, Gay, is yung yung experience naman, yung worthwhile experience ng mga bata natin, ng mga campus journalists. Especially now na virtual, na online yung ating RSPC, yung experience, though challenging man sinasabi nila, pero worth it pa rin dahil sa bagong experience na naranasan ng ating mga campus journalists.
And I bet all the participants are actually watching kasi lahat sila nag-cheer talaga sila. Not only for their other co-participants but also for themselves. Gaya na lang dito, oh. Pa-shout out mga Lods. Siguro kasama to siya, sir, sa ating competition from Mark Joseph Simpin watching from ANHS. Meron din ditong shout out kay Nuenavi Hisoler Alforque from Dasiglang, Danlungan Elementary School. Meron din tayo
Eto din, shout
shout-outs.
out din, Gay, kay Irma Muhammad, Taje de Dios, and Ali Yasmin Atara of Talon-Talon Central School. Laban lang by Coach Jana.
Talon-Talon Central School. Hello pala sa mother ko dyan. Hi, Mang. She's watching actually. Another shout out from the Pitan City National High School. Arriba, Dapitan City Division, laban lang, Dapitanon, Dapitan City, hashtag Dapitanon, heart, 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 from Princess Colleen Binyas Miro.
Gusto ko yung heart, heart,
yes,
heart.
grabe, ang dami talaga ng heart, heart, heart.
Eto din, Gay. Good morning. Watching from Zamboanga City Division, si Jima Into of Ayala National High School, cheering for Zamboanga City delegates, especially the reflectors, Rspc qualifiers. Hello, galing kay Jima Fernandez Into.
Sir Chris, bago tayo mag-continue sa ating mga shoutouts, gusto na din nating batiin ang ating pinakamamahal na supervisors na nandito sa atin ngayon. Ginagay tayo at sinusuportahan.
Exactly. Maraming
Shout out
salamat.
sa aming supervisors, Doc Bebot and Sir Alan.
Hindi talaga tayo pinabayaan.
Yes,
no?
from day one. Also, our ITO, headed by Ma'am Beb Kulong and also
Sir
Mike Rute. Hello din sa aming mga co-host sa awarding ceremony, Sir Brian and Ma'am Jane, Ma'am DJ. Also, hi to Ma'am Zufay. Yes, our IT na hindi rin kami pinabayaan all throughout the preparation. Hi din sa ating RSPC team dyan sa region. Headed by, of course, Dr. Rodolph Jan Rodriguez and Ma'am Alma Beton. Also, hi to our CLMD chief. He's together with Dr. Rodolph and Ma'am Alma. Hi din kay Ma'am Ruth, kay Dr. Ruth Fuentes, ating Regional Director, Sir Chris, and also sa ating Assistant Regional Director, Sir Pete Natividad. Hi, sir! Hello, ma'am!
Nako, pinaplad na ako ng mga text dito, Gay. Sabi dito, galing kay Ma'am Jufay, pa-shout out sa the wordsmith writers from Pasunangka Elementary School. Of course, maraming salamat sa school principal nila na si Mr. Emmanuel Flores for the support, and good luck sa coaches and writers ng participants. Coming from Ma'am Jufay, at maraming salamat, Ma'am Jufay.
Another shout out from Patrice Mendoza, watching from Tukuran Technical Vocational High School. Sur na sur from Patrice Mendoza.
Say hello din daw. Hello po from my alma mater, Talisaya National High School, campus journalist, Zamboanga City Division with coaches Vicdel B. Mojares and Julito F. Abong. Hello sir, good luck and God bless sa ating mga writers din.
Hi din sa aming mga campus journalists ng Zamboanga National High School West, Arriba Westerners. Hi also to my principal, Dr. Socorro P. Canaya, and to my department head, Ma'am Helen Mangumpit. Hello, thank you ma'am for the support.
Hello
Arriba,
din kay Patrice Mendoza from Tukuran Technical Vocational High School. Sure sa sur. Very sure sa sur.
Yes, another shout out from Carlo Bergado Pausanos. Shout out from DMC College Foundation Incorporated, City Schools Division of Dipolog. Hashtag Barog Dipolog.
Uy, ganahan ko anak. Barog Dipolog.
Barog Dipolog. Heart, 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 Sir Chris. May heart, heart, heart pa.
Pinaka-heart game.
Mga pulo. Mga pulo. Grabe, kadaghan sa heart, sir, no? Sana all heart, heart, heart.
Pero salamat, no? Salamat sa lahat ng mga sumuporta sa atin at joining us on this opening of virtual regional schools press conference.
Yes, also, Sir Chris, we would like to personally say thank you to Sir Rodolph Jan Trapa Rodriguez and to Dr. Bebot Corteza for...
And kay Ma'am Alma Beton, of course.
For this privilege.
Tama.
Sir Chris, grabe.
Salamat sa tiwala.
Salamat sa tiwala. Yun talaga yung term. Salamat sa tiwala. And for always guiding us. Thank you for allowing us to be the host for the grand opening of our RSPC 9. Grabe,
That is
no?
right. So sabi nga nila, tiwala lang. So ganun din dapat, campus journalist tiwala lang. At may halong
dasal.
At may halong dasal.
May halong prayers talaga. Dapat ganun talaga, Sir Chris, no? Dapat hindi natin makakalimutan yan. Sige, continue tayo sa ating mga shout-out, Sir Chris.
Meron dito, Gay. Shout-out from Cogon National High School. Hashtag Beautiful Cogon. Yun nga lang di ko mabasa, Gay.
Oo, mahirap. Parang, ano yun siya? Okay, pass na muna tayo
Pass
sa name.
muna sa name.
Another shout-out, Sir Chris. Shout-out from Salud National High School, fighting from Jeremy Mahilom. Grabe, fighting. Napaka K-pop, no? Siguro K-popper to,
Eto,
si
Jay,
Zera.
Pa-shout out po, EJ, Gajel, and Charlize from Tukuran Technical Vocational High School. Andito po kami sa PBB House, hashtag sure sa sur.
Grabe, sana all nasa PBB House, Sir Chris. Okay, another shout out from Azil Joy Lamayo. Pa-shout out po, EJ, Gajel, and Charlize from Tukuran Technical Vocational High School. Andito po kami. Ay, ito na pala yung kanina. I'm sorry. So, another shout out from Tiraway National High School, Zamboanga del Norte Division, Abante za Norte. Hashtag RSPC9 is back. Hashtag Abante za Norte. Meron pa tayo dyan, Sir
Meron
Chris?
pa kay Mark Joseph Simpin. Shout out from Ayala National High School. Ayala lang sa Kalam.
Wow, sa Kalam, no? Another shout out from Team Laika Mawite Tropico. Shout out from Punta National High School, Lavender Hearts, Day 33.
And of course, hindi magiging kompleto at ganun ka-successful itong event natin, Gay, pag wala yung mga regional ICT technical team natin. So, hello, Sir Anthony, and to the entire
Laban
team of
lang,
Region
IT
9.
team ng lahat ng divisions natin.
Tama, at maraming salamat sa inyong suporta and for organizing this virtual regional schools press conference.
Yes, another shout out from Tristan Makilan Fontanar. Shout out po from Tampilisan National High School. Pa-shout out din po mula sa Dumalinaw National High School, Zamboanga Sur Division, Planet Earth. Aba, lisod po itong Planet Mars, Sir Chris. Okay, another shout out from Shocon, Zamboanga del Norte Division, Abante za Norte. Hashtag RSPC9 is back. Talagang back na good.
Eto, shoutout din galing kay Precious Andale. Shoutout from Pagadian City Division, Napolan National High School. Napolan National High School, ang andap.
Grabe, no? Another shout out po coming from Eliza Ronica Bayawa. Pa-shout out po sa Sindangan National High School. Hello sa inyo ang tanandira.
Ayan, sino pa, Gay?
Shout out to po from Eugenia Andrin from Eugenia Andrin National High School. Hashtag sure sa sur laban. Sir Chris, meron pa?
Abante za Norte, Abante Liloy Central School, galing kay Solana Muriela. Okay, meron din dito shout out po to my idol Dr. Rudolph John T. Rodriguez. Nako, idol din namin yan.
Yes. Another shout out from Sapa Anding National High School, Ramon Magsaysay Extension District of Ramon Magsaysay 1 SDO, Zamboanga del Sur. Grabe, detailed talaga.
Very detailed.
Sir Chris, no? Ito talaga yung manifestation na ito talaga to sa mga journalist natin.
Yes. Ay nako, naalala ko ng game. Na-miss ko tuloy yung awarding, no? Awarding ng school paper. During that time, nung 2018 or 17 din, yung experiences namin sa regional press conference.
Naalala ko may award ka
Diba?
doon, Sir Chris.
Okay. Yes.
Napaka-humble talaga ng aking partner
Nako.
Na-miss mo ba talaga?
Yung experience.
Alin doon? Sino ang na-miss mo? Sir Chris, alin?
Nako,
Sino o ano?
Wag na. Laglagan ba ng game?
Mahal kita, Sir Chris.
Okay. Maraming salamat again sa lahat. Sa mga bigo dyan.
Grabe, no? Sinabi talaga, kahit na bigo, dapat laban pa rin. Laban lang.
Yes, of course. We love campus journalism. Huwag na natin ituloy yan, gang. Maraming salamat at ituloy natin yung pa-shoutout
Pinagpapawisan
natin.
na si Sir Chris dito.
Shout out sa Napola National High School. Hashtag Laban Pagadian. Laban Pagadian. Yes, hello.
By the way, Sir Chris, we would like to inform our viewers, especially our campus journalists who are watching right now, to really stay tuned. Kasi mamaya sa ating plenary, importante talaga yung magiging topic at yung magiging speaker natin.
That is right.
Yes, magkakaroon tayo ng open forum after the speech of our speaker, right, Sir Chris?
Tama. Big tip dyan, Gay. Dapat makinig talaga sila sa speakers. Kasi normally, yung mga speakers din ang mag-judge at pipili ng winners. Dapat makukuha talaga nila yung gusto ng ating speaker. So, campus journalists, listen to the speaker.
And while you're listening, baka naman gusto nyo din mag-share ng ating live, Sir Chris. Please visit our page once again. That's Regional Press Conference, DepEd Region 9. Like our page, then please share our live. Also, pa-react na din po kami ng heart, no? Heart
Yes.
lang tayo. Meron to ba, Sir Chris? Shoutout tayo?
Eto dito. Pa-shoutout po to all the teachers and young journalists of Danlugan Elementary School, Pagadian City Division. 1 Danlugan. Wow,
Yes,
1
I would
Danlugan.
also like to say hi to Maxi and to Resurrection and Rodriguez family. Hi! Hi, Joy! I bet he's watching. I'm taking this opportunity. Sir Chris, ikaw, meron ka bang gustong i-announce?
Wala, mag-hi lang ako kay Brian. Hi, Brian!
Okay, Sir Chris, I think ready na tayo sa ating magiging speaker sa ating plenary session.
And of course, ilalaban na natin yung plenary, guys. And at this point in time, to discuss on the Journalism Code of Ethics and Plagiarism, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Attorney Cliff Cyril Magallanes, Attorney 2 of the Legal Unit Region 9.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me in today's convergence. So actually, I just finished preparing my presentation just today. So I understand marami po tayong participants in this convergence, including mga senior high schools and elementary students. So I'll be discussing the journalist code of ethics, as well as yung topic on plagiarism. So just parang 25 years ago, sumasali din ako sa ganitong mga activities. So I will be discussing topic na I understand it's quite for some it's a little bit difficult to comprehend at first, but definitely I will try to discuss these topics in a manner na maiintindihan naman kahit sino. Okay, so let's start with my presentation. Clear na po ba yung PowerPoint presentation natin?
Hindi pa slideshow lang. Okay na, attorney. Okay na po.
So the unang-una kong i-discuss is yung Journalists Code of Ethics. So yung source po natin ito is yung this is actually a codification of several codes or principles or canons that has been approved by the Philippine Press Institute, the National Union of Journalists in the Philippines, or NUJP, and the National Press Club in 1988. So matagal na to. So the source, of course, is you can check this out sa philpressinstitute.net/journalist code-of-ethics. So if you look at the website philpressinstitute.net, there are 11 codes or principles na pinapalo talaga ng mga journalists dito sa Pilipinas. So we will take all of this one by one. So let's start with the first canon or principle of journalism. Number 1 is, I shall scrupulously report and interpret the news, taking care not to suppress essential facts nor to distort the truth by omission or improper emphasis. I recognize the duty to err the other side and the duty to correct substantive errors promptly. So when you look at this first canon, there's this very, very important social issue na parating nating naririnig. So when we talk about this canon, of course, the first thing that comes to our mind is this social issue. It's called fake news. That's very, very common na. If you look at Facebook, for instance, ang dami-dami nang sinishare ng mga articles, allegedly news articles, of may mga involving mga political figures na allegedly daw ganito yung sinabi, then kino-quote sila, in reality naman hindi naman totoo, but for the sake of discussion hindi natin yun sila i-mention dito because baka maano tayo ng electioneering. So we'll just in relation to that, we'll just discuss the fake news na mga nangyayari sa labas ng bansa, especially ngayon ng ongoing war in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. So ganito yung isa sa mga example ng fake news na lumalabas ngayon. So if you look at Facebook, in fact, tinitweet to ng iba pang mga kilalang personality sa US. So sabi dito, allegedly, there's this false tweet seemingly sent by CNN's verified Twitter account. Seemingly kasi hindi to totoo. So it claims that the US actor Steven Seagal, so mga ka-generation ko, kilala to si Steven Seagal. So allegedly daw, si Steven Seagal is a dual citizen. So both Russian and the US national. So sabi dito ng fake news na to, spotted daw siya doon sa malapit sa capital ng Ukraine or yung Kiev, city ng Kiev, alongside Russian Special Forces. At tinitweet to ng mga kilalang, like I said, ng mga kilalang mga influential din ng post sa US na mga podcast host tulad ni Joe Rogan. Again, this is fake news. Hindi po sumama si Steven Seagal kasama ng mga Russian forces doon sa Ukraine. So another fake news sa Ukraine pa rin. So ito, nagse-circulate din to sa social media, not just dito sa Pilipinas but internationally. Allegedly, yung wife daw ng Vice President of Ukraine, she's fighting for her motherland. So sumali daw siya sa Ukrainian army. In reality po, hindi po to totoo kasi in the first place, wala naman pong Vice President yung Ukraine. So unlike sa Pilipinas, they do not have the position of Vice President. They only have a President. So kaya nga problema ngayon ng US. So if whatever happens to President Zelensky, wala silang maipapalit kasi nga walang Vice President ang Ukraine. So hindi to totoo, definitely, kasi sabi dito, wife daw ng Vice President ng Ukraine, wala naman silang Vice President. So ito yung mga issues pertaining to the first canon of journalism. So another important topic din that is included sa first canon or principle of journalism is this right of reply. So I will not discuss this in detail kasi it's more appropriate for those who are already practicing their profession as journalists. So basically lang, what is the right of reply? It is offering a right of reply to those who are the subject of a significant criticism or allegations of wrongdoing is a fairness obligation. It can also help achieve accuracy in our output by serving as fact-checking and informing the nature of our allegations. So yung source nito is of course yung bbc.com. So I put it there, the link. Basically yung kung maalala nyo pag nakikita kayo ng news involving controversial news, say for example, napapabalita na si ganitong personality is tatakbo ng pagka-presidente. So, you normally see journalists on TV, they will normally sasabihin nila on air na sinusubukan pa po namin kunin ang pahayag ng company ganito, ganyan. So, that is basically telling the public that they're trying to solicit the reply from the personality involved sa news article na yun. So the second canon or principle of journalism is that I shall not violate confidential information on material given me in the exercise of my calling. So principle na ito, it involves confidential sources. So there is there is a concern involving confidentiality and the persons na nagbibigay ng confidential information, of course, yung mga sources ng balita. So confidential sources provide information to journalists on the condition that their names, faces, or in short, their identities are withheld. Confidential sources often possess first-hand information because they personally witness the happening of a specific event, incident, or are privy to a particular transaction. So if you notice din sa mga balita nakikita natin sa TV, pag may mga issues na binabalita na sila na very controversial, normally yung mga sources nila is either nakatakip yung mukha or yung boses nila is what you call it, iniba. That is to protect their, of course, their identities, because they could be pwede sila kasi silang balikan din sa mga taong nababanggit nila sa involving on certain issues na may kinalaman din sa mga nangyayari sa lipunan, say for example ng mga allegations of corruption or mga ganun-ganyan. So yung mga sources niyan, definitely they would not divulge their identity for fear of their own safety din. So as a journalist, you're supposed to protect their identity. If they choose na i-withheld yung kanilang identity. But of course, if they prefer na ipakilala sila sa mundo, wala namang problema. But if they specifically requested na i-withheld yung kanilang identity, then definitely as a journalist, you're obliged to grant such request. The third canon or principle of journalism is that I shall resort only to fair and honest methods in my effort to obtain news, photographs, and or documents, and shall properly identify myself as a representative of the press when obtaining any personal interview intended for publication. So it talks about fairness and honesty in the method. So in conducting one's profession as a journalist, so you should, as a journalist, dapat ipakilala mo yung sarili mo as a journalist. So hindi yung mag-i-employ ka ng deceiving or dishonest act para lang makakuha ka ng scope. Like for example, there is a gathering of major politicians in a country, at tapos yung mga invited lang dyan is yung member ng particular political party, and here comes this journalist, gusto niya siya yung makasagap ng mga fresh na balita na dinidiscuss doon sa meeting na yon. So nagpe-pretend din siya na member ng political organization. So by whatever dishonest means, nakakuha siya ng ID na pertaining, instead of nakalagay doon media, so yung parang representative siya ng ganitong political party in a particular locality. So again, it's important na ipakilala talagang sarili natin as journalists, as members of the media. So if you look at war correspondents, for example, especially yung nasa frontline, talagang nilalagay nila sa mga vest nila or sa helmet nila or sa sasakyan nila yung press, so that would identify them as members of the press. This is also important kasi pag hindi ka properly identified, so you could be mapagkamalan for example, especially if you are embedded in a military unit, so mapagkamalan kang miyembro ng military, so you could be targeted as well. So again, this is for safety and also for transparency purposes, yung proper identification as a member of the media. So the fourth canon or principle of journalism is that I shall refrain from writing reports which will adversely affect a private reputation unless the public interests justifies it. So at the same time, I shall write vigorously for public access to information as provided for in the Constitution. So take note that I wrote there in bold text the word refrain. And there's a phrase there also in bold text, unless the public interest justifies it. So the general rule is dapat yung journalist should refrain from writing reports na makakaapekto sa reputasyon, private reputation ng isang tao. So unless, of course, the public interest justifies it. So, for example, if there is a incident involving, if you're a journalist, you're covering a incident involving a government employee na nahuling magkasama sa girlfriend niya, married naman yung ang government employee na yun. As much as possible, we should refrain from writing reports that will adversely affect their private reputation. Unless, of course, yung particular news na yun or incident naman is a public interest. So ma-justify siya. So ano yung examples na involving public interest? So ganito. So I'll show you news reports. So this example. So in a report to the media, so tatlong BII personnel na aresto ng NBI at PACC. So this usually yung mga arrest na to ay nangyayari during entrapment operation kasi nga ginagamit ng ibang mga mostly government employees yung position nila to solicit money, no? So in exchange for certain favors. So especially this is very, very common, although I'm not judging these offices sa BIR or sa Bureau of Customs, especially yung mga involving taxes natin na mga ahensya ng gobyerno. So ito, since it involves public interest, kasi ginamit na yung office ng mga nasangkot, so this could be reported by the media. So yung principle na refrain, although it will affect them in their personal level, but because this involves it affects them personally kasi nga nasisira yung reputation, private reputation nila. But because this involves the abuse of a public office, then definitely meron itong public interest involved. So pwede itong i-report ng ating mga journalists, no, without violating the fourth canon or principle. So again, another example nito sa news to galing sa Philstar. No, 2019 pa ito na article, sometime in July 27. Ito ang malaking pera involved. No? 2 BIR officers nadakip for demanding 160 million pesos. So again, although if you read this article, talagang minention yung mga names doon. So it will definitely affect their private reputation. But as I mentioned earlier, pag nagiging involved na nito yung public interest, gaya ng abuse sa kapangyarihan or position ng isang tao, then this could be reported by the media without violating the fourth code or principle of journalism. So number 5, principle or canon of journalism: I shall not let personal motives or interests influence me in the performance of my duties, nor shall I accept or offer any present, gift, or other consideration of a nature which may cast doubt on my professional integrity. So ito yung usual na pitfall ng mga weakness or pitfall ng mga journalist or yung mga media men natin dito sa Pilipinas. Hindi lang siguro sa national and even dito sa local media natin. So I'm not gonna name names because wala naman akong personal information or personal knowledge. But these persons, this type of journalists or media men, no, usually ito yung tinatawag nating ACDC. Ano ba yung ACDC? Hindi po to yung kilalang banda ha, or hindi po to yung type of yung sa electrical system, yung alternate current or direct current. So ano ba yung ACDC? So ACDC simply means, i-quote ko na lang si President ha. So in a news article, so don't believe ACDC journalist, according to the President, no, by an article written by Azer Parucha, no, sa Philippine News Agency. So accordingly, sabi daw ni President Rodrigo Duterte has urged the public not to believe in journalists he tagged as ACDC or those who attack and collect money and defend and collect money. So this was his speech no sa Bukidnon. So sa totoo lang, marami na tayong naririnig ng mga ganitong incident, hindi lang sa local but also sa mga national media natin involving this unscrupulous scheme or behavior ng ating mga journalists at tumatanggap sila ng pera to attack a particular personality or politician or public figure, or nagpapabayad din sila para naman depensahan yung mga ganitong personality. So if you notice even in our mainstream media, makikita mo yung mga mafe-feel mo talaga merong parang strongly yung pagde-defend, strongly naman yung pag-criticize. Although I'm not saying na these people are involved in this scheme, but definitely meron talagang ganitong kalakarang nangyayari no? So within our mga tiwaling miyembro ng media. But I hope no, so for aspiring journalists, so we will not succumb to these types of transactions or schemes. So ACDC, no, hindi yan banda. It's in attack and collect or defend and collect. So number 6, canon or principle of journalism, I shall not commit any act of plagiarism. So hindi ko muna to i-discuss because I have a separate slide for this. Discussing in detail what is plagiarism. So let's go directly to the topic 7 no, principle number 7 or canon 7 of the Code of Journalism. So number 7, I shall not in any manner ridicule, cast aspersions on or degrade any person by reason of sex, creed, religious belief, political conviction, cultural and ethnic origin. If this principle or canon sounds familiar to you, it is because it really is familiar. So this canon or principle has something to do with ito, yung tinatawag nating libel or slander. So ano bang pinagkaibahan ng libel or slander? Yung libel po, basically it's in tangible form. It's in print form, written, or pictures. So examples niyan, magazine, internet, blog, article, or newspaper. So I think everyone is already aware na meron po tayong, yung libel is no longer just limited to yung sa nakikita natin sa physically yung mga newspaper or yung magazine, but also yung sa mga online na mga online newspaper or magazine or blogs or internet articles or even your Facebook post or comment. So that could be subject of libel. Yung slander naman, on the other hand, it's intangible form. It is spoken words or gestures. So example, speech or news broadcast. But sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, it's mostly speech yan siya. So there's no element of broadcasting but more of really yung sinasabi mo yung physically na sinasabi mo sa harap ng isang tao or sa publiko, that is considered as slander, no? Yung if you talk bad about a person in front of the public or in his presence, so that is considered as slander. So it's not in written form but in verbally yung pagkakasabi ng slanderous words or in fact meron ding tinatawag natin slander by deed, no, hindi lang yung by words. Slander by deed yung mga gumagawa tayo ng dirty finger or mga any other gesture, no, na that is offensive to the other party. So the source, of course, again nilagay ko diyan yung source ng material na to, yung libel versus slander, no. So it's provided there in the slideshow. So going back to libel, no. So etong libel kasi I'd like to emphasize this kasi being the unit head of the legal unit sa regional office. Palagi ko itong natatanggap, yung mga complaints involving libel. So, ano ba yung libel? So, libel, according to the Supreme Court, in the case of Ogie Diaz versus People of the Philippines, no, this is a Supreme Court case. Kilala nyo sino yung person involved dyan, no? Talagang, alam mo, it's just a matter of time kung na makakasuhan to ng libel. So, what are the elements of libel? So, number one, it must be defamatory. Ano ba yung defamatory? So, anything you say that ito yung mga sinasabi mong vice, defect, or mga anything vice, defect, or any defamatory statement na sinasabi mo towards another person. Ano ba yun? Yung sinasabi mong, say, for example, sasabihin mong magnanakaw, no? Or, ano pa ba? Yung mga defamatory statement, or concerning the defect, say, sasabihin mo, even if sa totoo lang may defect talaga, like for example, yung may kapansanan, sasabihan mong bulag, or pepe, or ano yan, sa Bisaya yung pungkol. So it's sort of a derogatory defamatory statement, but depending on the circumstances, no. So you have to take consideration ano yung sinasabi mo in conjunction with the other elements of libel. So, especially yung second element na it must be malicious. Ano ba yung it must be malicious? So, yung intention mo na sinabihan mo, say for example, pungkol or buta or magnanakaw is to embarrass that person, then that is definitely malicious. No, i-embarrass mo siya sa public or para maulawan or pagtawanan or kutsain. So, that is what it means to be a malicious post, no? The third element of libel is, of course, publicity. So, ano ba yung publicity? So, according to the Supreme Court in several cases, yung publicity po, hindi po necessary na lahat ng tao makakaalam. So, in fact, be very careful din yan sa mga group chat nyo. Although it's a private group chat, hindi naman kay isa o dalawang taong andyan eh. So if there are several members, so if you post something defamatory there towards another person at may nakakitang iba, that is already considered as publicity. There's even this one case, yung defamatory statement niya, pinadala niya through email ng that specific person, it so happened may nakakitang ibang tao. So if there are other persons na makakita other than the person intended, that is still considered as my element of publicity. So if other in short, yung element ng publicity is if there are other persons nakakaalam or nakarinig o nakakita ng defamatory statement aside from the person na intended mo na intended to be maligned. Say for example, sinabihan mo yung kapwa teacher mo na magnanakaw, it so happened you write something on your Facebook post and nakita ng kasamahan mong teacher o ibang tao yung pinost mo doon, aside from the person na defamed, so that is considered as public. So kaya mag-iingat din tayo sa pinopost natin sa Facebook, no? So it could be that meron na pala tayong napapublish na malicious or defamatory statement. Lastly, the most important of all, yung element ng libel is the victim must be identifiable. So, most often than not, dito talaga nadidismiss yung mga cases kasi there is this difficulty of identifying the person defamed, especially pag hindi minimension yung pangalan. But still be very careful kasi even if hindi mo naman minimension yung name ng isang tao but it could be identified, say for example, the mayor of this particular LGU, isa lang naman yung mayor, so ma-identify pa rin. So it doesn't necessarily mean na yung taong dinidefame is identified talaga yung full name niya. So if it can be based sa statement, makikilala kung sino yung tao, so may fall under the last element of libel. So again, for the case of libel to prosper, dapat yung apat na yung elements na yon must be present. The absence of one of these elements, a case for libel will not prosper. So number 8, canon or principle of journalism. I shall presume persons accused of crime of being innocent until proven otherwise. I shall exercise caution in publishing names of minors and women involved in criminal cases so that they may not unjustly lose their standing in society. So, yung canon 8 or principle number 8 ng journalism, it talks about 2 principles. Yung pinakaunang principle is of course yung presumption of innocence. Yung presumption na innocence, hindi na yan, in fact, hindi lang yung mga journalists yung dapat nag-o-observe niyan, but everybody. So, especially yung sa amin in our legal profession, there's always this presumption of innocence, no? So, a person accused of a crime will remain innocent until a court judges him to be otherwise. So, unless and until merong court decision, a person accused of a crime cannot be considered as a say convict kasi we still maintain the presumption of innocence. That is a constitutional guarantee. Now, sa second naman na matter that is found on canon 9 or principle 9 of the Code of Journalism is to exercise caution in publishing names of minors and women involved in criminal cases. No, so I'll show you an example how media reports news on matters involving women in criminal cases. Ito isang article from Philstar, so sometime pa to ng January 24, 2020 by Gio Ong. So 31 women rescued from Makati bar. But if you read the article, sinasabi doon na 31 women were rescued from a bar that allegedly operated as a prostitution den in Makati City on Wednesday night. The women were dancing without clothes. So, sa totoo lang, yung prostitution, that's still a crime. No? But you don't see in newspaper articles sinasabi doon na minimension yung word na mga prostitute sila. It's often yung mga ginagamit na terminology or phrases ng mga journalists or media men is yung something that will not degrade naman the intrinsic value of women. So sabi dito, 31 women rescued from Makati bar, but in reality, talagang mga ano din to sila, yung mga ano nila is yung trabaho nila is into prostitution, no? But if you look at how the media presents their case, hindi nila sinasabi na ito yung mga prostitutes na nadakip. Instead, sinasabi nila na rescue yung mga babaeng to from a Makati bar. But in still yung prostitution is still a crime. Although para sa akin it should be decriminalized, no? Kasi meron naman tayong batas na ngayon na yung tinatawag nating Anti-Trafficking of Persons Act. So dito yung sa batas na Anti-Trafficking of Persons, yung mga biktima, yung mga nasa ganitong trabaho, they are considered as victims, no? So yung mga may-ari ng mga bar o yung mga nag-operator ng mga ito, yun yung dapat na pino-prosecute, no? So again, para sa akin kasi yung crime na prostitution, that's from a very very old law, yung sa revised penal code, na para sa akin it should be amended or revised accordingly. So dapat dine-decriminalize na to. So personal stance lang naman. Again, another example, kanina yung sa Philstar. So ito naman is yung sa Inquirer, no, nung na-publish noong December 9, 2021 by Kimberly Kitasol. So sabi dito, 10 women rescued from prostitution den in Baguio City. So again, hindi sinasabi yung prostitutes, but ginagamit nila, hindi sinasabi yung women involved then doon ay prostitute, but they were rescued from prostitution then. So yung terminology na ginagamit nila, it's like these women are victims, no? So yung pinoproject. So talagang totoo naman. So although they are involved in this kind of livelihood, but they're definitely victims, especially pag yung kaso namang involved is trafficking in persons because they are considered as a victim. No, so sa amin naman sa legal profession, a similar practice, no? So going back to Canon 8, sinasabi diyan, I shall exercise caution in publishing names of minors and women involved. So yung pinakita ko kanina, it only involves women, but in practice din, just like in the media and sa amin sa legal profession, for minor victims of crime, especially yung mga very heinous ones, like mga yung physical or sexual abuse, sa korte yan, hindi yan, especially pag minor, hindi yan nilalagay yung names nila. In fact, sa record sa cases, hindi nakalagay yung names ng mga minor victims, but only pseudonyms. Say, for example, AAA or BBB, yan yung nilalagay namin sa court documents. And I think the same is true with the publication of news articles, no, involving minor victims din naman. So Canon 9 or principle number 9, I shall not take unfair advantage of a fellow journalist. So several years ago, so there is this controversy, no, involving yung mga media giants natin na GMA at ABS-CBN. So this was reported by the Manila Times sometime in the year 2005. No? Ang sabi dito, although GMA7 scored on Thursday a victory of the Department of Justice over its rival network ABS-CBN in connection with alleged stealing of a video footage on the Angelo de la Cruz coverage. So allegedly, sabi dito, ina-accuse ng ABS-CBN. So this is actually umabot pa to ng Supreme Court. So there's actually this is actually one of the a famous, if not landmark case in intellectual property law, no? So kasi dito ina-accuse ng ABS-CBN si GMA na ginamit daw nila yung video footage na kuha ng, I think, cameraman ng ABS-CBN. So ni-republish or pinakita daw ng GMA7 yung same na footage na kuha daw ng ABS-CBN doon sa isang particular event, no? So again, going to that principle, so it relates to the Canon 9 or principle number 9 of journalism, that I shall not take unfair advantage of a fellow journalist. So can you just imagine, so yung kaibigan mo yung nakakuha ng video scoop of a very important event, tapos kinuha mo yon and then you post it on your, say, personal blog or Facebook page as your own without proper citation or credits to the one who originally took the video. So it's unfair. So it's a violation of a Canon 9 or Principle 9 of the Journalism Code. So Canon 10, I shall accept only tasks as are compatible with the integrity and dignity of my profession, invoking the conscience clause when duties imposed on me conflict with the voice of my conscience. No, so it talks about conscience, no, and accepting tasks which are compatible with the integrity and dignity of my profession. So if you are familiar with how our mga, yung sa trabaho ng mga journalist or mga media men natin, usually either sila yung pumupunta sa isang event or gathering, or sila ini-invite sila ng mga certain personality to cover a specific event. So it's up to them to accept this invitation if para sa kanila it's okay naman yung wala namang magiging untoward incident na mangyayari during that event, no? So if they realize it's something magiging avenue lang yun to abuse or to spread false information, then they definitely have the moral obligation to reject such an invitation. So an example of this, ito si Bicoy. So naalala yun yan si Bicoy, very controversial person kasi nasa news yan siya a few years ago na accusing the president and many people close to the president of several malicious acts, no? So, and then later on nag-flip-flop naman siya. So Bicoy was very, very controversial. In fact, na-drag pa nga dito yung IBP, but thankfully yung IBP, naghingi kasi siya ng request for legal aid and ni-reject naman. So I think the media, although meron kasi yung instance na parang nagpa-press con si Bicoy, so I'm not sure kung meron bang pumansin nun or meron bang medyang pumunta doon, but definitely if you know that the person ay hindi naman credible, even you're a journalist, you should avoid attending to the press conference of that person kasi you're just helping or abetting that person from propagating false statements, malicious statements, or lies. No? So makakasira sa isang tao. So that would violate Canon 10. So last but not the least, Canon 11 ng journalist code is that I shall comport myself in public or while performing my duties as journalist in such a manner as to maintain the dignity of my profession. When in doubt, decency should be my watchword. So this is actually a catch-all provision na siya. So doon sa a journalist code of ethics. No? So again, journalists should uphold the highest standards of journalism, whether in the performance of their duties or when they are out in public. They must conduct themselves in a manner that will elicit respect and trust in their profession. So, because of the importance ng role ng media sa ating society, in fact, yung mga media, they could make or break the case of especially a person running for a position sa national government. So kung babanatan ng mga negative news, so definitely yung public perception ng taong yun na binabanatan sa media will go down. Or pag palagi naman siyang binabalita yung mga magandang nagawa ng taong yun, then definitely yung public perception niya is tataas. So again, the role of the media there is not to favor or to discredit a particular person, but to report a particular news fairly and without any sort of bias. So that's how important the role of media is in society. So with that, diretso na tayo sa plagiarism. So I was trying to gusto ko sana mag-present ano ba yung plagiarism in its simplest manner. So para maintindihan ng lahat kasi meron tayong mga elementary at saka senior high school na mga participants dito. So I found this say video on YouTube, nag-i-explain ano ba yung plagiarism. So I took to use this one. So this is a short video presentation by Vanessa Garofalo. So it's found on YouTube. So I'll just play it na lang so everybody can see.
Attorney, wala pong...
Jan?
Audio
Wala
po,
yung
sir. Wala po.
wala
Wala
yung
po.
audio. Ah, wala gyapon.
Wala attorney, wala gyapon
Wala,
attorney.
wala pa, attorney.
Ihatag na lang na
Share
link.
again, share again. Tapos
Sige.
include audio. Unshare muna, attorney. Huwag mo na mag-share, tapos pag mag-share, i-click yung audio.
Share, then so hindi tateke oy.
Okay, stop sharing sa attorney. Stop sharing.
Kanisa.
Okay,
Microsoft
stop, and
Word.
then when you share again, i-click yung yung mic, include sound.
Okay na?
Meron na, meron.
Plagiarism is something we hear about often. Plagiarism is something we hear about often, but do we really know what it means? You might hear the word used by your professor as part of a warning and something you should avoid. But how do you do this? Let's take a look. First, what is plagiarism? Plagiarism occurs when a writer uses someone else's language, ideas, or other original material without acknowledging its source. Whether you intend to or not, you are stealing someone else's ideas. Here's an example. You're writing a paper for your English class and you find a great quote from a book that fits perfectly into your paper. Yay! You copy and paste the paragraph into your paper, but you don't give credit to the source. This is plagiarism. To avoid plagiarizing or passing someone else's intellectual property off as your own, be sure to include a citation after the quote. Plagiarism can be either intentional or unintentional, so we need to look at ways to avoid being an information thief. Here are 5 easy steps to help you avoid plagiarism. Number 1, use original ideas and opinions. Write your own thoughts and explanations regarding your research topic. If you do need to use information from another source, be sure it is relevant. And if you do use it, make sure you cite it. Number 2, paraphrase. When you're using information from a source, it's a good idea to put it into your own words. However, you still need to cite the source even though you're paraphrasing. Information that is common knowledge, for example, the sky is blue, does not need to be cited. Number 3, cite your sources. As I've already said, you need to cite information that you get from a source. Whether it is from a book, journal article, blog, or website, you need to cite it. Here's an example of a citation. In the parentheses, you can see that both the publication year and page number are given. There are different ways of doing this depending on the citation style you're using. Sometimes it can be difficult to tell when a citation is needed. When in doubt, cite it. Number 4, use quotation marks. If you're putting information into your paper that you took directly from a source, be sure to put quotation marks around that information. This tells the reader that you're quoting directly from your source. Help! Number 5, ask for help. If you're just not sure when and how to cite your information, ask for help. There are several options available to you to get help with your citations. If you're on campus, you can visit ACE. ACE is Southeastern's Academic Center for Enrichment.
Okay, so yung last part ng pinakita kong video presentation, it's already yung isa na yung sa tool, no, to how to yung magiging that will these are, I think, software or website. Meron in fact merong free websites that will help us, especially yung mga nagkakandak ng gumagaw ng research paper. So they could type in particular words or a group of words or phrases para malaman natin if there is already an existing publication for that, no. So the last tip is helpful na siguro if you are not sure lang, if you're writing something na you're not sure if meron ng previous into your publication, no. So again, plagiarism is in its simplest form, no? So it's presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own with or without their consent by incorporating it into your own work without full acknowledgement, no. Nagiging plagiarism lang to if you incorporate somebody else's work without acknowledging kung sino yung source nito. But if you, like nung sa video kanina na mention, you make proper citation, yung ini-include mo yung source nyo, and of course the use of quotation mark if you're directly quoting this article, no. So that is not considered as plagiarism. Now, kung magtatanong kayo if plagiarism is a crime, plagiarism, fortunately or unfortunately, is not a crime, no. So wala pa tayong batas na nagbabawal na sa or nagpapunish ng act of plagiarism, but there's a big but. We actually have meron tayong tinatawag na intellectual property law, no. So dito, so there are certain acts that that may be considered although hindi ka makakasuhan ng plagiarism, but you could be violating already the intellectual property code, especially on the laws involving copyright, kasi yung copyright, yan yung pinakamalapit dun sa topic or matters involved in plagiarism, no? So again, so para sa ating mga young journalists or aspiring journalists, it really pays to be honest in your work. Dapat kung ginagawa natin, especially whether we're participating in a competition or not, is to use original materials only, no. So yung ano yung product lang talaga ng ating imagination and yung ating sariling gawa lang. So that's all, Jan. So I think tapos na yung presentation ko. So na-discuss ko na nabanggit na kasi doon sa video na yung basically yung ano yung talagang concept ng plagiarism and how to avoid it.
Yun. Hello po. Are we audible?
Yes.
Okay. Again, good noon po, Attorney Magallanes. This time po, magkakaroon po tayo ng open forum. And right now, we actually have some questions coming from our viewers.
And of course, we are encouraging everyone to, if you have questions to Attorney, feel free to do so.
Okay. First question po, Attorney, coming from Rolenzon Resueño. Which sites or applications can we go to do a fact check on information that we may be using to avoid plagiarism? Yun po yung question niya, Attorney.
Doon sa YouTube video na present ko kanina, meron doon na-mention na mga free website, no, na I can check if they a particular phrase or article is already being used by a previous author, no, sa kanilang mga writing. So I will not mention ano yung mga andon, but feel free to check again that YouTube kasi baka tayo nang po-promote tayo ng commercial product. So I'll just refrain from discussing this mga website na ganito. So but it's already provided dun sa YouTube video na present ko.
Oh, noted po. Thank you so much for that, attorney. Another question po, attorney, coming from James Monteza. I have a question, sir. If the suspected material is for public interest, that is exposing a local politician's supporters for vote buying schemes, can Canon 4, open and close parentheses, public interest, supersede Canon 7, open and close parentheses, casting aspersions and criticism? Again, if the suspected material is for public interest that is exposing a local politician's supporters for vote buying schemes, can Canon 4, the public interest, supersede Canon 7, the casting aspersions and criticism? Yun po, attorney.
Actually, there's no such thing as superseding this canon. So you have to make a balance between these canons, no? So without necessarily stating na itong canon na to will apply more than this. Kasi if you're just reporting naman on matters which are involving public interest and yung intention mo naman is not to malign or not to defame but merely to report a particular happening naman, no? So wala ka namang mga hidden agenda. So there's no actually a conflict between Canon 4 and Canon 7. No? So it still depends on how you present your report. No? So if you're presenting it as a matter of fact, so walang problema. But if you're presenting it with the ulterior motive na siraan yung tao na yon or so that would violate Canon 7, no? Yung sa yung prohibit doon sa pagcast ng aspersion doon sa ng isang tao, reputation. No? But again, pag fair lang naman yung reporting natin, that's actually a defense din doon sa libel. No? So if you're just reporting a fact, no, without, hindi mo dinadagdagan ng mga side comments or just reporting yung anong lang talagang nangyayari. So that's not a violation of Canon 7 and there's no conflict between Canon 4 naman.
All right.
Okay po, point well taken po, attorney. Salamat talaga for that, sir. So I guess, Sir
May
Chris,
question pa ba
may
tayo?
question pa ba? Okay, meron pa ba? Mga shoutouts na lang, no?
Wala
So
na
once
siguro.
again, thank you so much, Attorney Magallanes, for being with us this morning. And so, to present our certificate of recognition to our guest speaker for this event, may we have our Education Program Supervisor for English, Dr. Rodolph Jan Trapa Rodriguez, sir.
All right, so thank you so much, Attorney Cliff. Okay, with that, we would like to award the certificate of recognition to our first plenary speaker. Okay, we have Attorney Cyril Cliff Magallanes, Attorney 4 of Legal Unit, DepEd Regional Office 9, for sharing his expertise as resource speaker on the topic Plenary Session 1, Journalism Code of Ethics and Plagiarism during the 2021 Regional Schools Press Conference held on March 23 to 25 to 28, 2022 with the theme Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. Given this 23rd day of March 2022 at the Regional Office Center, Balintawak, Cagayan City, Philippines, signed Dr. Ruth L. Fuentes, CESO 4, Regional Director. Thank you so much, Attorney Cyril Cliff Magallanes, for sharing with us your expertise, your time.
Thank you as well. Thank you.
Ayan na nga, Sir Chris. So once again, we would like to say thank you so much for that very informative talk, Attorney Magallanes. Sir
And
Chris,
this will surely remind our campus journalists to practice responsible campus journalism.
yes, gaya nga ng sinabi mo kanina, Sir Chris, actually lahat ng mga magiging speakers natin for this event, makakatulong talaga yan as a guide sa ating mga
Tama.
participants dito sa ating RSPC. So, kung ako sa mga participants, dapat tumutok talaga sila, makinig
At
talaga.
makinig,
Yes,
yes.
and jot down notes, no? Habang nakikinig sila kasi makakatulong talaga to sa procedure na gagawin during the RSPC.
At sa contest din, Gay.
Yes. May shoutouts pa ba tayo, Sir Chris? Before
Yes,
tayo
magbabasa tayo
mag-end?
siguro. Eto. Greetings, watching from Zamboanga City Division, Lopez Maria Antoinette of Ayala National High School, cheering for Zamboanga City delegates, especially the Reflectors RSPC qualifiers.
Okay. Shout out din kay Christine Joy Sergas, Leia Riza Angeles, kay Babe Patricio Lim, kay Renz Jerby Book, Ma'am Rose Remio, and to all English teachers of Zamboanga National High School West.
And eto din. Nagpapa-shout out yung school paper ng Ayala, yung school paper advisor ng Ayala Central School, the West Wings, Madam Sherry Librero. Hello! And yes, of course, we would like also to say hi sa aming mga American English trainers again from Region 9. Hello! Ngayon lang din kami virtually nagkita-kita, and say hi to Ma'am Gian and Sir Anthony of Isabela, and of course Ma'am Juicer, si Ma'am Juiceray ba yun?
Yes, go lang. Push lang yan.
Yes.
Sir Chris.
Say hi, of course, to meron pa ba dito, Gay?
Meron pa? Hi also, of course, and thank you to our very own superintendent, Dr. Roy Situbalia, and Sir J. Montealto, our assistant school division superintendent, and also sa ating mga teacher, June and Doc Vicky.
Maraming salamat
for the
sa support.
Thank you din sa ating Rotary Club North for
Yes, that is right.
sponsoring our equipments that we are using here in our studio. Napakabongga ng studio. Made possible by the Rotary Club Sambuanga North. Okay, thank you so much po. Ma'am Berang Kulong, thank you po. Hi! Meron pa ba tayo, Sir Chris?
And of course, Sir Mike, maraming salamat for extending your help.
Our master,
and
Sir Mike
assistance.
Rute, salute to you. Yun na ba, Sir Chris? Meron na ba?
Sa assistance din binigay ni Ma'am Jufay, Ma'am DJ, and Sir Brian, maraming salamat for the assistance here sa studio. Thank you so much.
And also to our education program supervisors, Dr. Valeria Cortesa, and also Sir Alan Garcia. And to our education program supervisors sa region, Doc Rodolfo John Rodriguez and Dr. Alma Beton. And to our CLDM Chief, Sir Eugene Penale. So, at sa IT team ng region, shout out sa inyo dyan!
Thank you so much. Maraming salamat for realizing this.
Yes, sa team natin dyan sa region. And so, Sir Chris, that concludes our plenary session. Thank you so much, everyone. I bet we're all set for the contest proper.
So good luck and God bless to all the campus journalists and school paper advisors, and let the online regional schools press conference begin. Once again, this is Chris Kinko.
And this is Miss Mary G. Restriction
Saying, let us empower one another as one region, because together we always become stronger. Maraming
Arriba,
salamat.
Region 9. Thank you so much, everybody, and see you.
God bless and good luck.
And stay safe.
Always.
Bye, everybody. Happy lunch.
long wait is over. The most anticipated Olympics of campus journalism is about to unfold in Region 9. After 2 years of hiatus, the confab for all campus journalists is now back. This 2022, the Regional Schools Press Conference goes online with more twist as it puts together lectures and competitions. Anchoring on the theme, Pahayagang Pangkampus, Kaagapay sa Paghilom at Pagbangon ng Sambayanan. This local Olympics of journalism brings every journalist, experienced or newbie, into a whole new level of excitement. Watch out for these classic categories: news writing, sports writing, feature writing, editorial and column writing, editorial cartooning, photojournalism, radio script writing and broadcasting, TV script writing and broadcasting, plus new exciting contest events, mobile journalism, online publication, documentary film, research and campus journalism, infomercial, and campus journalism vlog. Streaming live in DepEd RO9 Facebook pages on March 23 to 25, 2022.